Other until last night, I did used in-ears for the first time at a show last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I did. I'm playing lead guitar for this guy named Danny Pizza.
Danny Pizza.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, and that's a birth name. And
Are you serious? Is that a joke?
And I'm not even kidding. I'm pretty sure that's, as far as I know, that's really his name.
Unbelievable.
That
I
works
love that.
out.
I'm pretty sure his dad is Mr. Pizza, like literally. And he's
Wow.
a very nice family, very nice people, and he has this great record, some great songs coming out, and he asked me to be in his band.
That's
So
sick.
I'm gets this ripping lead guitar, which is kind of like a fun, different thing.
Yeah, of course.
And he's got this whole in-ear rig. We played a Big and Tall recording. Do you know that place?
No, what is that?
It's like a recording studio, but they have like a DIY kind of like show space. It's a really cool room. Up in Woodridge.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. That North
And,
Jersey?
Yeah, like near kind of like Hackensack-ish area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really cool because it's a different thing where I don't have to be like the guy.
Right,
But,
yeah.
I don't have to do the thing. I
Yeah,
get to the show and play the
100%.
guitar.
Jesus Christ, the best.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the fun thing about doing other projects sometimes. Like, I'm also now in another band, and it's like, I don't have to be the guy. I can just play guitar and like do that. That's my thing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I play with Williams on our acoustic, and that's fun.
Yeah.
And again, I don't have to be the guy for that either. And then I do my thing where I am the guy, and I have to do all that shit.
You're doing all of it in your thing though, because like this record's got like ripping leads.
So Andrew, I've helped with some of the leads. Andrew.
Oh,
rips
Andrew's-
too.
oh,
Andrew
okay.
Saul.
Hell yeah.
We co-rip.
Yeah,
So
I've
two
seen- I've
rippers.
seen you- I've seen you rip before. This
Yeah, I know.
You're
I
not
know
hiding
you rip.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you get involved with Williams Honor, and also what is that to people like me that don't know?
Williams Honor is a country band based out of. They spend half their time in Asbury Park in Jersey, and they spend half their time in like Nashville.
Wow.
Gordon Brown is like they're a duo. It's Gordon Brown and Reagan Richards. Gordon Brown is this. He's been in Asbury Park forever. He's a great singer-songwriter in his own right. He's been in bands Highway 9, Mr. Reality. They were like, in the 90s and early 2000s.
Wait, Mr. Reality wasn't Rob Tanico in Mr. Reality?
Yeah. Rob Tanico and Dave Halpern.
Yeah.
Peter Schur.
Okay.
And I think that was that. I think that was the group. Then Mr. Reality and Highway 9. I think there was the same band, just different names.
I didn't
could be
realize that.
wrong.
That makes sense. I only know Rob because I used to work at Lake House. I've known Rob a long time.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's crazy. Okay,
So
small world.
it all connects. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So, and then Reagan Richards has sung with everybody. She's like one of the best singers I know, like in real life.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
amazing. Like amazing. And people I don't know too. She's up there with the people I don't know also. She's incredible. So they have a duo called Williams Honor. It's like country rock. Really interesting mix of stuff. We just did the Barefoot Country Festival in Wildwood last week.
Hell yeah.
Which is really cool. And like we played on like the Jim Beam stage, and which I think that it sounds like I'm kidding, but I think that was actually
No,
what it was
that
called.
sounds real as hell.
And it was great. And they have great fans, and their songs are great. And I get to show up and play acoustic guitar. And like my grandfather was really into country music, and so he would come see us play. So that was always cool. He came to see me do the rock shit too, but I like country music, and and like they do a good mix of it's catchy and modern and fun, but without being like pandery, like
Sure.
modern country.
Yeah.
When I say modern country, I feel like now that almost has like a negative connotation.
I
when I talk
completely
to
get what
people,
you- yeah.
some people, but like
Because it's become commercialized, whereas like I feel like country of like the mid 19, like whatever, the 70s, 80s, 90s felt like less that, like more roots.
Yeah, and they have a really good mix of like, Reagan can sing everything from like Patsy Cline to like
Hell yeah.
Robert Plant.
Oh,
And
wow.
and like and they got like Sheryl Crow, and it's really interesting stuff. I really like it. And then Keith Urban's in there too, like really cool stuff. Like
That's
just
awesome.
Great, and they're great people. The band they've always had great players, and that's how. They had this guy, Dave Biglin. His name is, we call him Squiggy, or I don't know how they got that. I don't know how he got that nickname, but he played with Williams Honor at McClune's, down the street,
of course,
with us like 10 years ago or something like that. It's been like literally like 10 years, and he remembered me. It's like, oh yeah, who was that kid who played guitar? And so he was producing this kid Danny Pizza's record. And then remembered me. It was like,
Wow.
does he play electric guitar? Does he play lead at all? Like, they was looking to put a band together. They had this record recorded and done.
Right.
Squiggy played all the bass and lead guitar parts. So I'm like pretty much playing like his parts, but playing it live.
Sure.
So it's been a really cool like homework assignment to like work on those songs and to like learn them and like by most of them by ear, and then like Squeaky would send me a couple like video parts.
Right, to kind of demystify.
Like I also have and you might relate to this. Like I make the parts way harder for myself.
Oh,
I'm trying to learn by ear. I'm like, oh, it's like this weird thing. Like, no, it's like here, and it's like you don't have to move your hand. I'm like, fuck.
Every time.
It's like me playing all the way up the neck. It's like, dude, if just go down a string, and it's like it's all the.
Yeah.
Every time I've ever had to learn something.
I learn it like the hardest way possible. And they go, you could just do that. And I go, oh, fuck, you're right.
Dude, yeah. Anytime I've been like, oh, I figured that part out. And like I show someone, they're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah. No, I completely relate to that. So it's cool to have someone like who wrote them and that can give you guidance.
Yeah.
And it's a cool like full circle moment. Like,
yeah. Well, and that's what it's so the whole music community and it's so like such a small world. And like you never know like who knows who and like who's gonna remember you and both like a not negative but in first like you got to be good to everybody,
of course,
because
always.
you can't be an asshole because it comes back to you. And then
Nick.
Not mention any name. John Chang Soon.
John Chang
John Shanks.
Shout out John.
I love
he
John
was an
Chang
earl.
Soon.
We had him on, right? Did we ever had John on?
We never had John on. We were supposed to. The original thing of this podcast was we were going to do me, John, and Nick all talking about our songwriting, and then I think the first date with John didn't work out.
I think
you and I just did it.
The only thing we did was like an Instagram live with John. I think when the three of us like talked and played, but that was it. No, love John though.
He's amazing.
The old Asbury Park. We all had an acoustic guitar, and we took turns like
playing our songs.
God,
That's cool.
I wish we had a little bit better technology back then,
because that would have crushed.
That would have been pretty cool.
We could do it again.
Doing all that. I didn't do any of the tech stuff in COVID. Yeah. And it's just like...
Well, I barely did either. I didn't do it right either. I mean, I was doing Facebook Lives every Sunday. I think I was called Bloody Marys and Coffee with Bobby. And I did
That's
it.
Sick, yeah.
Well, I did it at first. It was just like literally just like my phone. I was sitting in a chair. Just kind of like talking. Like, I'll play a little bit, whatever. And then like I eventually like stood up and started treating it more like a show. And I started playing through a PA. But
so it grows as you,
But even so, I was still like, it was best when I was just doing it from my iPhone.
I completely get that.
Like, and that's where
sometimes simple is the best. Or it's like direct and like.
And I hate to say it, like their microphones are really good. And like, again, direct is just like, right to the source. So like, and then that made it. At one point, and we did some other live streams that were more produced, like with Joe Palm and stuff. Shout out to Telegraph Hill.
Yeah, the homies.
But like, we did some more live streams like that, and that was like, through the what's the one program that everybody uses?
Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton.
No, not the recording stuff, but like it's like a switcher software, video stuff. I don't know. I can't remember. It's OBS.
Yeah, like Streamlabs or OBS. Yeah, like whatever the person may use. Yeah.
Whatever. There's a bunch of different. And I feel like at that point it was like a boom for it. Like when I started teaching on Zoom, and that's when I learned what Zoom was.
Oh yeah.
And now I use like it every day still. Like in like my teaching stuff, or like other like interviews, stuff like that. It's like, oh, you get Zoom.
Yeah,
Google
you've got
Meet.
Zoom, right?
Like, but that's when that's all shit started.
Right, COVID, like I hadn't even, I guess it must have been a technology prior to COVID, and then like everything shuts down and everyone had to figure out how to reconnect. So it's like not just FaceTime, it's like Zoom and Google Meet and whatnot. So we had to figure out how to incorporate music into that, which whether it was like, audio interface, like whatever it was, like what your audio source is and OBS or whatever.
And I'm really not that tech savvy,
Not yet you are.
Not yet. Well, growth mindset, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But we're all growing together, actually. Tonight
we figured it out.
We're all aspiring audio engineers.
Yeah, but, this is held together by duct tape. No, but, like, we're actually these are actually not even on. We're recording from iPhones.
We're lip syncing. We memorized the whole thing.
Oh, my God.
See somebody
I've
do
seen
that.
people online do that. It's horrifying.
All Bobby Mahoney.
Yeah, that makes sense. They must.
All Bobby Mahoney audio is AI on this, actually. None of this is.
Well, you're not even actually here right now.
I'm tricked. My ears are tricked. I thought those were real drums.
No, it's amazing. It's all fake, the whole thing.
Speaking of real drums and music being a small world, we were just talking about it right before we started recording that I went to high school. Actually, it was middle school too with James, your drummer. And I remember like finding out like, I think he'd probably already been drumming with you for like a minute when I was like, oh my God, like that's James. Like I know that guy. And then he approached me and
that's so funny.
And then I started seeing him, like after not seeing him for nearly a decade, then I started seeing him everywhere.
Yeah.
Music. Yeah.
Even recent, like dude, I just started a new job in October and there was like a month where I saw him like every other day. I would go to the Wawa. There he was. Red Bank rehearsal. There he was. Actually, I think you were you guys rehearsing, or was he? He might have been rehearsing with Dave.
Yeah,
you
the
guys are
DTs,
really
yeah.
outing his whole schedule. You're
But no,
just
it's
like,
crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
goes
you
to
could,
Wawa
if you want
Tuesday
James, you can
morning.
find
You
these
can find
places.
but like no, it was crazy. I was like,
Or Rock
I
in
can't
Central
escape
Jersey.
this
Oh my
guy
God.
in a good way. I was like, the world is so small.
James is a
yeah.
sweetheart.
So it's like
He
you have
is.
some great people, and you're between going to college with John, me knowing James forever. Like you're surrounded by some great people.
Well, that's honestly how I'm able to do any of it. Honestly, like, that's I'm surrounded by a great group of people. Andrew Saul does a lot of help for me. Also, shout out to Rebecca Stern, a good pal of ours who's lives in Brooklyn. She's a music industry guru and is amazing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Madison Van Houten, who designed the record cover
really?
and for everything. And
I love the art. It's super clean.
And Hannah Grieve took the pictures and everything. So yeah, it's a whole I wanted to keep it all in the family. And Zach Morrison did the Deadbeat video and the Passenger Seats video.
That's what's up.
Elijah Reese, my best man, edited the We Go On video of all my home movies. He keeps a Google Drive called the Mahoney Archives, which is a joke.
It's important.
It's wild, and everything from my 1998 Disney trip up to now is in that video. It's nuts. I had to do there's too much Disney. I love Disney.
Like we got less Disney.
Yeah. Even for me, I'm like,
We're gonna get flagged on YouTube.
Yeah. Bob Iger owns We Go On now. It's amazing. They bought me out for not quite for tens of dollars.
Tens of dollars.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
we'll give you $20 for the video.
So y'all should do something for Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, the documentary about where we break up and get back together.
It's the get back of Bobby Mahoney.
Yeah, it's just
Bob back.
It's just me. It's James yelling at Andrew in Joe Palm's basement for 2 hours,
Hey,
and then me just being like, "Okay, guys, let's play a song."
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty. And then
That's
John
it.
just being like, "Here's a synth part."
Yeah. He's
Dude,
like, "Are you sure you don't want synths in here?
No, and
are
we're like-
you sure?"
We let John kind of go hog wild with the synths a little bit at time, and they're tucked in, so they're not, it's not nuts. But
it adds. Like I feel like that's one thing that really stood out to me on the record is the the instrumentation and arranging is like
So smart.
larger than life.
Well, I appreciate that, and because get into it. So this record, again, it is a new record, but the first, so half the songs were recorded in 2017, our self-titled EP.
Yes.
And that was at North End Recording up in Clifton, New Jersey.
Okay, yeah.
With cousin Frank Mara was like the engineer on that, and then Tim Pinella then mastered it at Lake House, the original version of
The
that. He did
household
a great
name.
job. Yeah,
Of course,
it was a great job, and I was very proud of it. And still proud of that record.
As you should be. Yeah, it's like part of the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we did the We Go On EP at Joe Palm's basement during the pandemic. We did the initial tracking. We were literally socially distanced with masks on. It was scrubbing groceries time of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Drums there too.
So so we did drums in he has a kind of smaller room set up.
Yeah.
And then we were in the main room, sort of all spread out then. The three of us, and now again, obviously, we overdubbed the guitars again, and I redid the scratch vocals not through a mask, but I really wanted the essence of those songs to be us playing together at that point, because we were really kind of starved for that.
Of course,
in that moment in time, especially.
You need connection, yeah.
Yeah, so so then 2020, and then we put that out in 2022.
Right.
And then Wicked Cool Records got a hold of heard our stuff and was like, we want to kind of take these two EPs and remix them from the ground up and remaster them entirely. And we retracked a couple elements.
Right. So for the most part, those are the original recordings, just some retracked and remixed and remastered.
For the most part, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which is, I had mixed feelings about, to be honest. My first reaction was, well, I kind of would love to just give me a week in the studio. I can retrack, and we play so much better now than all the songs than we ever have. I just record the band now doing these songs. And then for reasons that just wasn't what happened, which is fine.
Yeah.
And now, and honestly, in hindsight, I'm happy that we did it the way we did it, because also in that realm we could have fucked stuff up.
Sure,
of course. Or overdid it, and getting back to the point before, it was they were all kind of done.
Yeah.
And out and in the world and doing their thing. But now it's I really feel like it's a step up, and I feel like it goes together as a cohesive record. all together, and like they all kind of sound better than they ever have.
Yeah, that's why that information actually kind of surprised me, because it doesn't sound like they're different sessions. Like it's really cohesive.
Yeah, especially for 3 years apart, and like
Yeah.
different. Like our pal John Shepard played bass on the older tracks, and then John Chang Soon plays bass and synth on a lot of the new stuff. And we always said he's the keeper of the vibes.
Yeah,
in our band, because like he has that ear candy, because he has a lot of like great pop indie rock sensibility. So he'd be like, it's hit him with a synth part here or whatever, or just help with in the arrangement. So we spent a lot of time the first time when we recorded it, really being painstaking about the arrangements. And then so now I think Jeff Sanoff, who did the new mixes, did a really good job of bringing out really the best parts of those. And the work that Frank and Joe and Tim and Doug Gallo mastered the We Go On EP originally too.
Okay.
So we've had great people working on these songs for years, and everyone kind of, I feel added stuff to it. So again, I'm very just grateful for having good people work on our stuff and help us sound good. So, I'm very, very pleased, and it is nice to finally have it out and can be talking about it, because like we've been also, the other part of it was that we've been working on it for like 2 years.
Right. It's kind of ends up like a labor of love at that point.
Yeah. So like this, and that's just this portion of it,
Yeah.
Because like it was kind of, I was hoping it would be done for last summer, and that just didn't happen. I could not put out a record called Another Deadbeat Summer in February.
No, yeah,
that just was not going to happen.
Summer record, yeah.
So I needed to wait, and I'm sitting on my hands and driving my wife Rachel nuts, just like feeling, like we've talked about this honestly, like feeling stagnant, feeling like not where I wanted to be, or not where we wanted to be, or whatever it is. Those feelings.
Do you write new songs in that time? Like, how do you really cope with it? I mean, well, the good thing is you have the other projects you're playing in, and like you have consistent gigs too, which is also good.
Yeah, well, that definitely helps, and like just teaching.
Yeah,
like that. Sure. Keep 99% of the days I feel very good about, and like feel I love teaching, and that's something I never would have expected to do.
Sure.
That job just fell in my lap, and I've been there for like 7 years.
Wow.
And it's been great.
Yeah.
And I teach like a full-on private school, and I'm like the music teacher at the school.
Yeah.
And like it's all one-on-one students. Shout out to Fusion Academy in Princeton.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's great. I love being there. But, there are days and during this process where you get that, imposter syndrome, where the kind of like the, can't do, so teach.
Yeah.
Kind of thing would set in a little bit. It's like, this is not what I'd like to be doing for full time forever. But then also recognizing, and that's just in those like shitty moments where I'm feeling down about it. But then 10 minutes later, I'm like very extremely grateful for that opportunity to keep working at all. And especially during like things like the pandemic, I was very grateful to have a job at all.
The shitty moments are like quicksand when you're like on stage is like a blip, or you're on tour, it's like a blip. And then like when you're like at your job, like, wiping down a table or whatever, you're just like,
what the hell?
Oh, I'm here forever. This is like,
and it's kind of like
boots.
And like I do talk about it with my students a lot. It's like, you have to do those things that, you have to both like live that, go for the dream shit,
of course,
but also keep the lights on.
Yeah, there's a blend of the two for sure. And especially like when you're teaching music, like you're able to blend that, where it's like, here's the thing I love, I can do it on stage and I can do it teaching.
Well, it's the on a day that I am just teaching, like I have a guitar in my hand.
Right. Yeah.
I'm working with cool kids. I have a cool office. I work with cool people. Like, it's not a bad thing. That's why it's even like I feel like I'm not even like trying to bitch about it.
No, yeah,
it's great. But there are days it's like, well, this certainly is not. When I'm like dealing with a difficult kid at 8:30 on a Monday morning, it's like this is not the rock and roll lifestyle I necessarily intended. Or like when we did like here's I'm gonna just name drop. But when we did the Prudential Center with Bon Jovi,
of course,
we did on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
It was an amazing top of the world thing at my desk teaching the next day.
Yeah,
kind of a reality.
It's a little bit of a slap in the face, being like, okay, so it's all not linear, which is the other thing. But that said, I'm very grateful for my job, and I like that they give me the flexibility to take off and tour.
Sure.
When I need to do that, or whatever is again. So they're very cool and supportive, and they come to see me play. So I'm happy about all that.
It makes the music stuff sweeter, so you're not playing every single night, and then you get to a point of like hating that a couple shifts of playing music in a row, because that's how you're looking at it.
Sure, yeah. Eventually it becomes the job if
people
it is.
People go through, and it's that's a hell that's a like mental hell that it's just like, whoa, I didn't know I needed to like flex this muscle in my brain. Like I thought I could always enjoy playing guitar in this like capacity or whatever.
Yeah, no, it is hard. And that's where like I learned to play guitar to write songs.
Right.
And like I really wanted to first and foremost want to be a writer. And I would, I've taken, or I've, there's been growing up, people have said, oh, you should play more cover songs. You'll get more gigs, which is 100% true.
Oh, without a doubt.
And but it's a certain, and zero disrespect to cover bands or tribute bands. Or like, a lot of my friends play in cover bands, and it's great, and or wedding bands even. That's where the money is,
Yeah.
So shout out to all my friends who do that stuff. That's great. But for me personally, I could again seeing when it's like that becomes a shift job playing guitar for that stuff. It's like for me personally, in the stage I'm at currently, that's not what I would like to do. Right. So that's why like playing with Williams Honor and Danny Pizza. Those are like original projects. So at least then I'm playing other people's original songs and like helping people to like support the song, and serve the song as best as possible that I can do. And then it's like and then when we still do cover songs,
of course.
And any of those groups do cover songs too. It's fun, and I get to learn other people's stuff too. And there is merit and fun in learning like that stuff too. And I just connect with people at shows. Like people love it when we do like the Killers or whatever it is, that we're doing at that point.
But that's a cover in a set of originals, so it feels like you're not just learning covers. You're serving the song, so to speak.
All your covers, you very much Bobby eyes too. They're all very much like
not note for note. It's like here's my take on this.
Which is nice too, because even like learning covers, I'm always just like. I'm like, gotta hit these notes. This has to sound good.
Right.
This part needs to slide in. I'm just like, am I really putting any kind of like spin to this thing, or am I just trying to play this song?
Yeah, well, and that's it. It really depends on context, I think. And there are certain songs that you can Bobby eyes or whatever, or make like my own. Yeah. But then there's certain ones that's like, no, you need to play that note or you're not playing the song.
Yeah. Right. Oh, there's always there's like almost like key moments where it's like that cannot be changed.
Or if you can't play guitar and sing to it at the same time, like you can't accompany it. It's just like not happening. Like,
that's not the song we're doing. Yeah.
And I don't know. It's part of it probably stems from laziness. But like it was like when someone made the mistake of telling me when I was very young, well, if you write your own songs, no one can tell you you're wrong.
That's true.
That's very true.
When I'm learning a Slash guitar solo, no, there's a right note or I don't know why I said that. That was my example.
It's a good example of a guitar hero,
when I'm learning a Bach piece, or when I'm learning Slash guitar solo, there's a right and wrong
without
to it. There's a part that's like, no, that's not the right note.
Yeah.
But if I write the song, well, fuck you, I'm right. This time
this is my version.
This is my version of my song.
I'll sing a whole step off that chorus if I want to. Yeah. I wrote it.
It's on purpose. Exactly. Whatever. It's fine. Jazz. But
it's jazz.
Yeah. Anything. If it's a choice, it's a statement. I have a lot of respect for bands when they come out and they purposefully play like dog shit. I've seen that.
What?
Yeah. No, I've seen it. I'm not going to mention names because it might not be a bit. But they start off really crappy and play kind of badly on purpose. But then by the end of the set, it's like, oh wait, they rip. And that to me, like, that's a really good commitment to the bit.
That's an impressive risk too.
Yeah.
You need the audience in that first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how whereas like I'm a try hard again, going back to kind of cringy to be sincere at times nowadays. But like I don't know, I like. Enjoy trying hard and like putting on a good show, and like if people are gonna pay money to come see me or whatever, I want them to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
But that said, there's the fan of comedy in me is the Norm Macdonald, bombing on purpose at the Bob Saget thing. There's art form in that too. I think.
Definitely.
Being able to be like, no, we're gonna kind of bomb for a bit. On purpose, I don't know. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, I
think it's dumb as hell.
I think it's really funny, and like to a lesser extent, I've had friends like change a pretty significant lyric of their songs to like something that's like a little bit silly. Like a friend's band that comes to mind is Grin and Bear, and while like when they were still playing around, one of them lives in California now, but like changed like a significant lyric in the song to like the names of the members in the band. So like you're singing along, you're like. That's not the lyric, but it's like fuck you. It's like I'm singing it that way.
Yeah. Well, and there's a level of like the Replacements.
Yeah.
I think really popularized that we're gonna be bad and you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
So,
it's kind of the part of the punk rock ethos to be like loose and fast sometimes, where it's like I'm gonna play a little sloppy on purpose because it's punk rock.
Well, that's like the whole like Rick Beato thing. Who he thinks that like Kurt Cobain played sloppily on purpose.
Sure, and he might have. There's probably merit to that.
Yeah, there is vibe, and like to something like that, So like, yeah, who's to say? But whereas if I'm sounding bad, it's not on purpose. I'm trying very hard, he's trying his best, and it's like, oh wow, look at him try to sing that whatever song. Like we do, like I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
Sure.
And like the first time I try to half-ass the falsetto, the first chorus, then the second time I'm like, fuck it, I can't do it. We both knew I can't do it.
Right.
Let's just have fun.
Like
But then I just like I do at least one. Sometimes I go for a second one, maybe.
Sure.
But usually I'm like, I'll do the one, and then I'm like, I'm not doing that again. You sing the falsetto part.
Yeah, it's like I can't. Yeah, I've reached my limits there.
That's the thing too. It's like you always know you could practice as much as you want, but no, yeah, we're good. You could practice as much as you want, but pretty much like, when you get on stage, it's a totally different ball game. Especially when you're doing wild vocal stuff like that, where it's very intricate. And you have all this, you could do it in your car, you could do it at home, you could hear yourself through all these apparatuses, or just like by yourself, and then you're in a loud room, drums are going,
and you're
like,
man.
Oh yeah, like I can't hear myself right now. I hope this is the note.
Oh yeah, well, and that's where we were talking before, and maybe where we got started, where it's like I don't usually hear myself when we play with my band. I don't hear myself usually because it's just basement shows or whatever,
right.
And like all that. Like I'm not used to hearing myself, and I don't know, like I think I'm better off for it at times. But then like with Danny Pizza, we played with the in-ears last night for the first time. And that was kind of a cool experience to actually be like, oh, that's what that's like. But I don't like to be coddled.
No,
it's like,
I would highly recommend in-ears to every singer because you save your voice that way.
Oh, that's true. And that's and that's where when I usually use earplugs, like really in like that underwater kind of feeling that I and other people hate at times, kind of does help me monitor a little bit.
Right, you're feeling vibrations.
I completely agree.
Everybody has their own way of doing it, but
when my hardcore band was like performing more, there were a lot of shows, actually probably a majority of shows I didn't play with earplugs, and many of them I would like blow my voice out.
Yeah.
And the few that I did decide, like, let me put earplugs in so I'm not like deaf, I like had more control. You have more control because you're like, oh, that's what that's feeling and hearing like a bit more.
Yeah, so I think for me it's like the more that muscle memory kind of kicks in a little bit. But it was my friend Taylor Davis from Miami. Shout out Taylor. He came and sang with us at the Wonder Bar during Light of Day last year.
Oh hell yeah!
And he got up. Like, he had practiced whatever like song. He did Another Deadbeat Summer with us, and he had practiced it a bunch.
Right?
Like, but he got up with us. He's like. After, it was great, and we had a great time. But afterwards, he was like, "Dude, I could not. How do you do that? I could not hear a goddamn thing." I'm like, "I don't know. I just, I don't need to, I guess." Or it's like, "Oh, okay, we need to, obviously." And again, the earplugs are probably actually how I do it.
Yeah.
But I've gotten so used to it, and also playing with the same band for as long as we have.
That makes a huge difference.
Knowing the songs as well as we do. That James very rarely gets a drum monitor.
Yeah, so he's just gotta like know what you.
Yeah,
he watches faith me. That you guys are doing well. Yeah.
Well, that he watches me. He can, we usually try to put the bass amp right next to him so he can feel that. True. And that's where it's like in the past, if like we've had bass players that weren't up to snuff, I'd hear it from James first because he'd be like, "Nope." They were not all.
They were not locked in.
You feel it when it's off.
Oh,
that's the thing with bass is like, I mean, nothing is worse than like when a singer's off because everybody knows.
I'm right here.
Even non-musicians, know.
Yeah.
But like if with the rhythm section, if one's off, the other's gonna be like,
the drum's off, but also bass, you like feel it. Like it's like, ugh.
Something feels weird.
It's like there's supposed to be a one beat there.
Yeah.
Luckily, us bad guitar players can get right under the radar.
It's
great. Unless you're playing the Slash guitar solo wrong, then they'll know.
Yeah,
you're really going through that whole catalog right now.
I think I listened to Guns N' Roses today in one of my lessons today.
Oh yeah,
I think, and that's why I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I think that's
Those are fun rhythm parts too.
My go.
That's
great. My go. I think that's why right now it's my go-to music example.
It's a great music example because Slash is like a iconic guitar hero, and a lot of kids want to learn his songs. So it's like, And a lot of adults want to hear those songs.
I'm gonna switch to Charlie XCX just to be more relevant for the youth.
Dude, don't even get
for the new song.
Don't even get me to start.
I'm gonna start talking about that. Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
Because
How are you with like only because you're in like a rock band?
Yeah.
Like how are you with like other like listening to other kinds of music or like?
I really like it.
Yeah.
Growing up in like high school, middle school, I definitely was kind of like that annoying like classic rock only, like the kid
we all were. That's why we're podcasting right now.
Yeah, exactly. The natural progression.
I was somewhere in between where I was like metalcore only for some reason, but I'm like anything popular sucks.
Yeah, well, that's so similar boat. But I don't know. I always like when I was a kid. I liked Aaron Carter.
Yeah,
But
my
then
first concert.
Really?
Yes.
What's PNC?
PNC.
And 18s?
18s.
I threw up a lot at that concert.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why were you throwing up?
I don't know exactly why. I think I just had like a stomach bug or something, or I just ate too much popcorn or something. I don't know. But I got to like halfway through the 18 set, and I'm like, I don't feel good, and I was so excited for Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
But then I saw him
great.
again at the what's the Sunbank Center in Trenton. I forget what it's called now,
yes.
but
I don't know what it's called.
That's
now.
what it was when I graduated high school there. But I forget what the other, whatever arena is in Trenton, like the mid-sized arena.
Yeah.
I saw him there, and I don't think I got ill during that
thank
one.
God.
So that's
Yeah,
good.
that's.
But
no,
I beat Shaq.
Yeah.
But like
Aaron Carter rocks.
Yeah, so like, I like pop music, and I NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, I like that stuff growing up too. But nowadays, like going to William Patterson introduced me to like listening to a lot more jazz. I played in like the high school jazz band too, though. So like I was around it and played trombone in the classical band. But going to William Patterson really, I hung out with a lot more different music people and got exposed to a lot of different types of music, like more like even Indian music and stuff like that. But my wife is very into Taylor Swift, so we listen to a lot of Taylor Swift. I like the 1975.
Yes.
So is she, and like that was cool for a minute, and now it's like okay, well, we don't listen to them back to back so much anymore if we can help it. I guess that's a folks pa. But I like to keep my ear to the ground and try to listen to as much pop stuff as possible, or try to be somewhat aware of different things if possible. Try not to live too much under a rock.
Sure.
But
because you brought it up, have you heard the Charlie XCX?
No, I haven't. That's why I knew that was a bad example to actually use.
It's a great example because I'm addicted to it.
I've heard it's
love
amazing.
it so much.
I've heard it's very good.
It's a club record.
I haven't listened to Chappelle Roan yet either, so that's another one.
Okay, put everything on pause.
Like at all, not one song.
You got to listen to that.
I don't know if I have.
You maybe subconsciously have heard it.
Well, that's the thing. I had to have at some point.
Yeah.
You got to start with "Naked in Manhattan" because that's what
put me
took
on.
me.
That's
that
what
took me.
That
I was just like
the first single in the 2022.
I'm chronically on Twitter, and I say that I dead name it on purpose. It's the only thing I'll dead name on purpose.
Twitter is
Twitter.
It's Twitter forever.
But I'm on Twitter's occasionally still. Yeah. Because it's X now.
No one calls it X.
Nobody.
No,
literally no one. We're good.
Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, but I mean, I'm still on it.
Yeah.
So I guess fuck me too then. But I'm like culturally aware of the names and the things like that, but and like and I'm 1,000% like I dig it, but it's like it's like I feel like that's also like the thing of like I heard of them, but then it's like no I haven't. No,
but honestly, like
I try to be honest about it.
That's probably more important. Is like maybe I haven't listened to a ton of this or that, but like at least I'm aware of it. I can keep up.
It's like in Spinal Tap. There's Spinal Tap.
Of course,
okay.
Of course.
They're at the Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "I'm a fan of what you do." Yeah. Not you exactly, but the whole rock and roll music thing.
It's exactly. It's like I like that, but not this specific.
Yeah. I like what you're doing, but not you, but pop music.
That's how I feel about SoundCloud rap.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I love the culture.
I love the culture. I don't really know much about the
I don't
music.
know what's really going on with it.
I do like Billie Eilish though.
Her new record's really good.
I haven't listened to the new record yet either.
It's
Fuck
good.
Me. But
no, dude,
I like her
as an artist though. Yeah.
Lady Gaga. She's not like super new, obviously, but like I always like her stuff.
But she also kind of influenced a lot of what's going on now, so it's valid,
Yeah. She's cool.
Dude, I'm a poptimist through and through.
Well, it's good shit. That's the point.
Yeah.
And and people who get upset about it are I don't know. I don't ever want to be like old man yelling at a cloud, kind of thing, or because at a certain point, guitars were, the devil music, and they still are. Damn it, devil music, yeah. But there's a time when people didn't like that because it was noisy or whatever, and it's like you got to be open minded, even if when I get I'm 29 now, so like as I get older, it's like I recognize it's not all gonna be for me.
No, it's funny you say that though, because like, and I'm right for a moment. I'm gonna be old man yelling at cloud, where it's like I think people should be scared of guitars again, because we're getting to a point where there's like pop artists that are making pop punk music, and it's just not. It's like, let me make radio friendly like guitar music. They're not even radio friendly. It's like, what if I'm trying to be an edgy pop punk emo artist, but it's like, this is bad.
You mean like Machine Gun Kelly, right? That kind of stuff?
And he kind of set it off. Like, there's artists, pretty much anyone under the umbrella of Travis Barker. It's like Jaden or whatever. Like, there's a lot of those artists that are like, it's pop music that sounds like pop punk music, and it's really bad.
I hope they all find you. Not me.
I hope they find you. No, it's fine.
Find you.
I admit that I'm being the old man yells at cloud for a moment, but like,
I don't like guitar playing like what it's become online.
Oh, if you're talking like Instagram guitarists?
Well, those are different things, but
But they're to the same end of...
I was looking up, well, full disclosure, I was trying to cover 360 off the Charlie XCX record. That's the first thing I heard from the record so far. I'm already hooked.
Okay.
It's so good.
I have my homework to do on the drive
I'm trying
home.
to cover 360, and I'm like looking up how other people play it, because I'm like, I want to gauge like what the parts actually are and stuff like that. I'm interested in what other people shot or whatever.
Right.
And when they're just copying the melody line that's not in the song, it's just like overdone, and you see millions of videos of this where they're just like, I'm gonna like shred rip all
in the style of Tim Henson.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally,
it's amazing.
He's phenomenal, but it's like, you don't have to shred over a pop song. Yeah, like, play the thing if you're gonna play it.
What annoys me about,
not happening.
I mean, not annoys me, because like, everyone is an opportunist. In everybody,
without a doubt.
So like, I understand like, the idea of like, okay, song needs to drop metal version of now.
Yes.
You need to drop
get ahead
whatever.
of it.
Yeah, what'd you get?
I'm gonna stop you right there. That shit's got to stop.
Well, it's a lot. But
it's a lot.
I don't know. It's like, do a cover when you feel like it's gonna be. I mean, I understand you got to be relevant,
right?
And like jumping on a thing at the right time, but also like, I don't know, it's got to be good.
Yeah, it's got to be good.
I mean,
but some people just
rush to it. It doesn't have to be good. That's not true. I would like it to be good.
Are they going for funny? Because it's like,
they're going for clicks.
If Bach was like lo-fi hip hop, like that's kind of funny.
It's funny,
but if
I could study to that. I feel like, frankly,
what's the newest like pop song? Everybody, Espresso.
What
if Espresso was metalcore?
Yeah,
there's 100 of. I mean, there's thousands.
Probably thousands.
Yeah. See, that's the stuff that should be banned.
Well, so I should not play Espresso coming up next show. Okay.
No, that's different. Do that.
Don't do like a cringy like. What if it was metal? I'm talking video.
I'm kidding.
Whatever you want to your
tight,
audience.
deep V, like crabcore.
It's all overdone, and like I don't know. I don't have the time or patience for any of that. In terms of the guitar playing, it's like a parlor trick stuff.
It is parlor trick
where it's like, again, amazing. I can't play like that. And and no disrespect to anybody who can play like that.
Playing nines, first of all, is not a parlor trick.
I mean,
if I catch you playing nines on the internet, you're done. And just sliding into like the notes that the singer's hitting is just like.
That's what they do. That's the moneymaker.
What do you mean by nines?
Like ninth?
9 gauge.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that is what Tim probably plays, right?
Yeah,
it's
I know. I get that. Yeah.
You don't play 9 gauge strings.
No, I play tens.
Yeah, I was gonna say you play live.
Yeah.
Like you don't break a string.
You would play one chord and they would all come off.
Oh, I see what you mean. No. I see what you mean. Okay, nines.
It's always my joke when I see somebody on the internet like shredding. I always comment like, "Must be nines."
Yeah, it's like it's too easy.
I'm gonna post, and I'm waiting for you to comment that now. I mean, I'm not shredding. I'm not shredding enough.
Next time you do an acoustic Bloody Mary, Mary stream, I'll be like, he's got nines on it. Don't believe a word he says.
Those are my acoustics. I think are medium gauge.
Oh,
that's good.
No,
that's
you're not putting nines on an acoustic. It physically won't work.
Watch me.
Oh, yeah, you know what? He's gonna push the limits of what's possible.
I can feel the buzz already. Just
good.
I kicked myself in the butt because I was trying to like learn something on my guitar that has tens, and I haven't played like that intensely in a while, and I'm like, oh, this hurts. Yeah. Nines would be nice, but we're not going there. We're gonna suffer through the
there's
pain.
There's some merit to some light gauge strings. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, but also Stevie Ray Vaughan played like 13s on a guitar.
But then who played like 8s?
Someone played 8s?
People like even I think it was like Billy Gibbons might play like.
He's got the softest hands of all time.
7s?
Jergens on the tour bus.
You know what?
I think 7s might be a thing. I don't know, but maybe
That's
that's
insane.
There's a Rick. Again, go look Rick Beato.
He's the guy.
Shit. Yeah. And I think he says that ultimately 9s, or the thing of like, it used to be you would think thicker strings, the Stevie Vaughan argument, like thicker strings, more tone.
Right.
You're moving more, but then I think they kind of found recently that 9s less somehow has more tone in it. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't care. I don't give a
Different
shit.
strokes for different folks.
I
but,
play 10s. I play 10s forever. I'm probably gonna play 10s till I'm dead or can't do it.
Also,
Exactly.
then I'll go to 9s and I'll be 80 and guy will troll me. And it's fine.
Is it true that you saw Rick Beato live?
Is that true?
I had tickets multiple times to go. The first time I got COVID, I think, or was sick, whatever. I was sick. I couldn't go. And then the second time, we got asked to be extras in the Gaslight Anthem music video.
Oh, no way.
So we couldn't go to that time either.
Oh, that sucks.
nice.
I mean, it's cool that you end up in the extras.
So I was like, we were in the video, and I was like, that's really cool. I'm glad we got to do that. Thanks, Brian and Kelsey and Rich and everybody
The
involved,
gang
and
rocks.
Stacy.
Love those guys.
But like, yeah, I was like, my whole thing is in general, like, I heard that Springsteen skipped Woodstock to play at like what became Porta. So
Wow,
like that back in
really?
the I don't know how true that's a legend. So my thing is like, okay, if I have a chance to play or do something like go on a podcast,
absolutely. Yeah,
Like
it's
you're
always
gonna miss a show
better.
to do
It's
it,
always
yeah.
better to go do a thing to further
A
us.
better
rather than-
question:
yeah.
how many hours of Rick Beato content do you think you've ingested?
That's a great, honestly, a lot because I use it in my classes a lot.
Yeah.
I show my students, last 10, 15 minutes of class, or even like the first 10 or 15 minutes of class, depending on what it is. I'm like, we need to watch this.
Either that
now.
or you're regurgitating it, like secondhand knowledge. Like, did you know
Yeah.
this song has a piano?
I'm like, do you know if you play 9s, it's a bit.
By the way, by the
more
way,
tone.
we don't talk about this much, you and I. So you probably think I'm being sarcastic. I love Rick Beato.
No,
I watched
genuinely.
like
I used to really,
lot of
really
his
dislike
stuff.
him. I was like, this.
Oh, really?
He's like the boomer guitar YouTuber, and this guy sucks. And then I started actually watching his content. And I was like, oh, he's actually really
I
cool.
think he's the prophet.
I love
because
him.
He's bringing us together.
He
us and the
is.
Booms.
Yeah.
That said, you're right. That said, though, I don't like his Taylor Swift takes recently.
Yeah,
I don't
agree.
really watch any of his like pop music takes.
Because
do.
those are
funny-
usually old man
It's kind
yellow
of funny when
clouds,
he
yeah.
rips apart only from like a musical standpoint. He'll rip apart like songs that use like acoustic guitar loop or like modern like
Oh, sure.
Billboard, Spotify farm things,
Yeah,
whatever.
and
but,
I like him ripping him apart, but then I feel like with like Taylor Swift, like he was just kind of being like unfair.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like you don't have to like her, but like also like he was like critiquing some of her lyrics, like what do you have to be depressed about? You're,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
I'm like,
it's like, you
dude,
can't,
Fuck
that's-
you. I like
he's-
him a lot.
Yeah.
Don't put that in. Rick, I
Everybody's-
love you, baby.
No,
Everybody's a parlor
yeah.
trick. That's him trying to get a or
Yeah,
no,
this
not
is
parlor
clickbait.
trick.
Bobby Mahoney says fuck Rick
no, you were,
Beato.
you were
No,
saying
it's-
it. You were just saying it before. Everybody's an opportunist.
Like, that's an opportunity.
That's Rick.
Man, you're right. Could be right. He might know better.
If he had to pick, like, try to be a sexually appealing, like, thing toward the
He's a
Swifties.
pretty handsome guy. Hold on.
No, toward the Swifties,
Yeah.
or like.
Say something.
Rage quit on them to like get other people.
A little
out.
bit of rage bait does go a long way.
I
Even
know. That's
even
when he
if
used it
that's
with
his
his
opinion.
podcast.
Yeah.
For. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's what he has a podcast for.
That's what this is for. I'm gonna again upset everybody with this, and they're gonna be like, "Who's Bobby Mahoney calling out?"
Yeah. Rick Beato,
Calling out
Taylor Swift, all these
Zach
people that
Sandler.
don't know him.
Zach,
calling out.
hey,
Zach Sandler.
neighbor.
Yeah, neighbor.
But,
but yeah, I mean, I love his takes on most things.
Sure.
But I just feel like he was a little unfair to her with that.
I
Couple
agree.
things like that. There was
I do.
maybe there was something else too.
There's a few things that I feel like he's like maybe unfair, but also like maybe just not the correct demographic for.
Bobby
So I'm
Mahoney,
like, yeah,
Taylor Swift defender.
Yeah.
That's
What
right.
did you
I'll take
say
that.
the other night? You were like, I consider myself, I'm labeled, I identify as Taylor Swift enjoyer.
I am a Taylor Swift enjoyer.
Yeah. I mean, again, to
you
be.
hear yourself?
Yes,
I'm
I hear.
just saying that.
I'm a Taylor Swift
Saying, like,
enjoyer
I'm-
also.
hey, by the way, guys, I'm a pizza enjoyer. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be mad.
Yeah, I'm a
don't,
pizza
Don't be
enjoyer.
brutal on this pizza place.
Yeah, I agree. I stand by it wholeheartedly.
pretty
As
great.
a phrase, not even just as a statement, as a phrase.
I'm an Amazon enjoyer.
That's
all right.
bad.
I support
that's
Amazon.
Not, I don't think that's good.
See, that's bad, but not because of the way you're saying it.
No, but I'm allowed to
Exactly.
support a multi-billion-dollar corporation, just
Oh,
like Nick is.
I am too. I don't have to like it though.
You know, valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I order from them. I don't have to like them though. I don't like they're convenient, yes, but do I? Like
I try
them?
not
No.
to lately.
I
don't-
try not
I don't
to.
know Taylor. If she wants to come on the podcast, I'll put the reel out.
Yeah, we'll
Dude,
check
that
out.
would be actually crazy.
Maybe I'll bankroll 30 years of talking shit.
It's time. It's put your money where your mouth is.
We'll have a conversation. I'm sure she's lovely.
Yeah, no, I think she's talented as hell, and I get to be doing it at that level in any capacity. It's ridiculous, and biggest to do it currently.
Yeah, I mean, still on tour.
Yeah,
after like a year.
Yeah, but like that said, like it's not for everybody, and I recognize that, and like it's like anything, Bobby Mahoney's not for everybody.
No, that's not true at all.
That's right. And right. What was I saying?
It's for every single person.
Well, what I was gonna say is
they don't know they don't have this yet. That's the problem. That's why there's like sadness and SSRIs because they don't know Bobby Mahoney's new record.
Well, we were talking about pop music with guitars. I feel like we do that, but like well. These are all pop songs.
So revisiting the record.
Choruses.
Yeah, those hooks, like it's punk rock, but like pushed to like expanding the limits to like pop sensibilities. Like those hooks are huge.
Like I like that it's like it both works, and like my 90-year-old grandfather's girlfriend who lives in Canada can listen to it and enjoy the record and enjoy it for what it is, but then also a 15-year-old punk in New Brunswick, New Jersey can enjoy it as well, or however old,
You know what it is? Like I feel like when we were coming up in bands, I mean it's part of the territory too when you're like when you're growing as a musician, like you're trying to be as creative as possible, and like you'll like wear your influences on your sleeve, but it's all about like taking that and creating something entirely new to your scene and new into that scene hopefully as well.
Definitely.
But now we're moving into an era just with all like I'm going to say playlist thing is going to be the easiest word to come to mind, but pretty much
like accessibility.
Well, being even more like front of the line, like I sound like these 5 bands. Like you could pinpoint your sound algorithmically.
Sure.
It's even easier to distribute now.
It's funny that you say that because like I recall like listening to the record initially, I was like, dude, first of all, great. I actually really, really, really love it.
Thank you.
I was like, it has like a lot of the like heart and ethos of like Gaslight Anthem with like a lot of the sensibilities of Menzingers, and like it rips like bands like Dirty Nil. And then literally 5 seconds later, I go to the Spotify bio. I'm like, son of a, how am I going to say this now? Because it's literally the Spotify bio.
Thank you.
No, it's literally the Spotify bio.
There's an art to that.
But
seriously.
I promise I thought it before I read it.
I appreciate
so,
that.
And I had to say that because I'm like, oh, like it's all this wrapped in one. It's like the punk rock ethos, pop punk, and like pop melody sensibilities, and like just ripping guitar parts.
And we listened to all 3 of those bands extensively. So
all phenomenal.
There, and we love them very much. And like it's like everything from Springsteen to Green Day and Against Me, and all that AC/DC, all that stuff. It's we like playing loud guitars. We like having songs that people can sing along to.
And you don't shy away from that.
You're road dogs too at this point too. Like you've been constantly. Whatever you could do. You've been playing as many gigs in the state as you can. You've been playing, I remember when you started going down to Florida and back up, and then like going out to like Cleveland area and coming back. Like you guys grew a lot in like Pittsburgh, like, and now you're going to Europe.
Yeah.
You're just like, that is like so hard to do. And not everybody does it. Like there's like it's like 5% of the bands that are like putting EPs out and like doing this. It's so hard. All the times you've like been on Facebook like, hey, this gig in Bethesda, Maryland's not working out. Anybody have like a house we could play? Like that shit's so hard to do. Not everybody signed up for that nor wants to.
It's brutal.
And you've done years of that with like different people and different songs, but still been, like you've
authentically
there. Everybody that's been there has been through like hell and back, van breaking down, like all this shit.
I appreciate that. No, that means a lot. I thank you for saying that. And
I think that has to do with your genre. Think about like now, like just somebody coming out like just like as a TikTok artist or an OnlyFans artist or whatever the hell. No, there's so many different ways of like getting exposure to like where the crowd is right now.
But it's like you got to be like, the ethos is what makes
and your management is a record company, like a record label that found you and
not
other
technically
bands.
Management though. We do that. That's all in house.
Okay,
so
so your representation. distribution representation.
Yeah, partners.
Somebody found you in a pool of other people doing what you're doing and decided you're the one we're gonna take. That's where genre really lives. Instead of well, I wouldn't say they're punk because none of them are bald
it's
or
ethos.
whatever. They don't spray paint people in the crowd when they're playing or whatever the hell.
It's ethos for sure.
Well, I think we've been pretty true to ourselves.
Yeah.
And being organic to what we do, and we've seen a lot of bands and fads kind of come and go.
Yeah.
Over the year, but we kind of have been try to be true to what we do, and there is definitely a temptation to be well, what are the cool kids doing musically, or what would be more appealing to the youths and things like that. And
Easily,
it's I don't care. No, I do care, but it's I want people to enjoy what we do. I'm not going to be an asshole and be oh, I don't want, I'm going to make it I want, and I don't care if people like it. I obviously do. I care if people like it.
That's hard too. You're doing
but
it's a balancing act.
To a point that I enjoy it.
Yep.
And I won't put out anything if I don't like it. Put my name on it if I don't like it.
Being humble is hard. Just through us seeing bands that we were so fond of growing up, and it's oh cool, they're still playing basement shows or whatever, and we go to it and we still have a great time, and they're just oh, this isn't where I thought I would be. You see it on their face. It's just I've never gotten that vibe from you. I've never gotten a non-humble vibe from any of the gang in the band. It's always family whenever I'm around you guys.
Well, that's important, and you're part of the family. When you're here, you're family.
Yeah. All right.
All right. We're gonna
so we're going right now.
Yes,
Actually.
sponsored by like and subscribe. But I appreciate that too. That's the biggest compliment I think you could pay us in terms of being a good band or whatever, writing good songs, all that stuff. That's all fine and good and important. But I do really appreciate trying to be a good hang and be good to our community and to be not an asshole as much as possible. Now people will jokingly say I'm the nicest guy in Asbury, and I don't like actually.
Because you don't live in Asbury.
That's true. That's also and that's
and
very
the
true.
rumors here.
I'm not. And also I'm not that nice.
It's I'm just a guy.
He's got a parking ticket waiting for him right now.
That's right. Yeah,
nothing.
I'm parked in the middle of the street,
No
right
resident.
in the middle of Ocean Avenue.
Yeah, he's this will be a minute, right?
Yeah. I must have running in, right? Can't even load in for a gig. He's talking about in town,
I completely get that point, though. Yeah.
Yeah, or someone in Europe, one of the posters, they put the Prince of Asbury Park.
Oh, are you serious?
Keep that.
No, I made them take it the fuck off. I'm listen, you can say no. I'm please don't.
Who's gonna fight you on that?
Me. My brain and everybody else also.
Oh yeah.
I don't want
it. Reading it.
I don't want it. Yeah, even saying it or talking about it makes me feel dirty. I don't like it. But people, I was you can say what you want when you share it out, whatever. But I can't share out a poster that says that in good conscience.
I completely get that.
Because there's one that I don't live here. Two, there's so many people that we're all
are the Prince of Asbury.
Right. There's many princes.
No.
Princes.
Two princes at least.
But I don't know. I don't dig that so much. But I do appreciate that people don't think I'm an asshole. I'm glad I haven't fooled. But but joking aside, being humble and being someone that people want to help means a lot to me. Because God knows we've gotten a lot of help. So it's people don't want to help people who suck or are mean or are jerks. And we joke around and say we're in our selfish era now.
I like that.
And that we're asking for the bare minimum. And just trying to knock it actively shit on at every turn, which is still hard, and we still do.
Yeah.
But really trying to try to stand up for ourselves. If we're playing on the road, no, we don't want to play last. Can we please play second or third in the middle of the bill?
Advocate for yourself.
Please,
yes.
And it started obviously from a very nice place, or if people want to borrow some of our equipment, we're usually cool with that. But there's some elements maybe my pedal board in particular, some pedals, or my head, or the cymbals. Yeah, no,
we're not doing that.
I'm really not okay with that. But you could use the cab, but you can use other.
Right.
I'll try to be accommodating as much as possible and to be helpful. Or if they ask ahead of time, usually we could be more. But it's in the moment, no, and I'm sorry, but again, bare minimum. And even most of my friends, I'm still use the fucking thing. Whatever.
Oh, for sure.
You're being reasonable because you got to be kind of yourself.
Yeah, it's advocating.
So it's you got to think of yourself. You need the amp to play, and you're not trying to put yourself in that.
Well, exactly, and that's exactly. So it is a little bit of just being less of a people pleaser, because I feel like also like that's
it ends up being
I'm
like
guilty
hurting
of that.
yourself and others at the end of the day.
Yeah. Absolutely, and James isn't putting up with that shit anymore. Forget me, James is like, no,
Like,
nah,
symbols he's broken. Like
he's done. No, absolutely.
nope.
But it's we have put our time in a little bit too. So it's like
Sure.
we're very much still paying our dues, and we're still very much low man on many totem poles. But it's also I've been doing this for 15 years also, and so like or more in some capacity. So it's like I know kind of. I have an idea of how things should be run and how people should be treated and talked to, and also like it's a level of respect.
Without a doubt.
So like, and that's it doesn't always happen. So
Yeah,
it was
that's
wishful
gig-
thinking.
I guess it's gig life, but it's like at the same time, it's like, yeah, like I want to show up and get the bare minimum at a gig. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So Nick and I were talking the other night. Did we meet you in Nashville?
I know I did. You may have met him earlier, but I vividly
That
remember. I think the first
blew
time,
my mind.
2016, when both Monmouth and Willie P were on Nashville trips, and we both were at the same rooftop.
Yeah, the rooftop. Were we in like the hot tub? We were hanging there
No,
too.
I think
No,
this is the
no.
rooftop bar.
Okay, we did that. We were in the hot tub with some Monmouth people too at some point.
Oh, it's a hotel.
Yeah.
Was that the hotel? I don't think I was
You were
there
there
at
for
that
that.
moment.
Oh yeah, no, we were there. For
Were we
that.
there for the hot tub?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I can't remember who was
I don't
there to
remember.
be honest.
Nice ass hotel for a school.
The
trip.
yeah.
That's
That was
like
amazing.
The hotel that the away teams that play.
the arena's
hockey
right
arena.
there, yeah,
exactly.
Bridgestone Arena. Yeah.
It was right on Broadway. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great trip, and like that's where I really first hung out with Joe Palm. That
Oh,
trip.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
And that that's history right there. So many of us, Cole and I, we flew down. My roommate Cole Mozaleski, we sat next to John Eddy on the flight down to Nashville. It was John Eddy, Asbury Park legend, amazing singer songwriter, fantastic, one of my favorite writers. He was just like, "Oh, it's you," and it was like I forget which, might have been Frontier. I forget. We got to choose our seats, so he's like, "Come sit next to us," and
that's sick.
and I got to hang out with him the whole flight and bother him the whole time.
That
and,
is cool.
Yeah, no, that was such a great trip.
It was a great trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really eye-opening, and like, even though that's not what I'm doing now, like, it was a really great experience, and like, I met a lot of cool people, like, so it was phenomenal, like meeting you. And do you still talk to Janelle?
Joel.
Joelle.
Joelle,
Excuse me,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's killing it. She's still in
Yeah,
the
that's
industry
why I was
and is
like,
working her
yeah.
ass off. Yeah, shout out Joelle. In North Jersey, I haven't seen her in a minute, but it's like I have a lot of love for the Willie P.
Yeah, those
community.
kids. Yeah, you guys all rocked. Like, it was cool, like linking up with you at that. I think that was at least in memory for me, the first time was at that rooftop bar, and we were like, oh, like.
Yeah,
I hope
was sick.
Monmouth and Willie P do a lot more of the career junction stuff together too, because I think I went up to one or two career development things with Willie P, and they were very cool.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, like Dave Philp and I don't know if Dave Kersner is still running the program. I think it's mostly Dave Philp now, but shout out to Dave and Dave. Love them both very much. They have a great program there, and Steve Marconi as well. And I mean, the adjunct list is too long. I'm not going to get into it, but they are really
You've
great.
got the names though.
Yeah,
like this whole show, you've had like the names just right.
I'm
ready
really
to go.
trying. These people I've known forever. Ask me who I met yesterday, and I'm like, I'm really bad.
Oof.
I'm really
I
bad.
retract my humble statement.
I know. I feel no. It makes me feel
It's not your
terrible.
fault. No,
I'm really bad because like I've very actively tried to stop saying "nice to meet you" to anybody.
because sometimes
Ever.
yeah.
Because I put my foot in my mouth
I mean,
all
now
the time.
you're allowed to. I mean, your band's literally going on tour in Europe.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
oh,
but
and I'm going solo acoustic when this
Oh,
the Europe
yes.
dates is solo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's still sick, though.
It is
You're
sick.
going to Europe. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
You're
Yeah,
still-
yeah, it's a
but
sore
you're going to
subject.
Europe
James is
Christmas.
mad. No, I'm kidding. No, they're very supportive, and they know I'm going to play. Break the ice a little bit. Try to
Yeah.
play the smaller stuff. and
it'll
try to-
make it
Yeah.
easier for the whole band to do it. Yeah.
That's what I keep telling them. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but
It makes sense, though,
No,
like,
they're being. I'm
logically.
joking. They're being very supportive about it.
Yeah.
They want me to go, and it's good for business.
Yeah,
It's a big
100% good for
investment,
business.
but also, like, they will love you over there.
Yeah,
Thank
without
you.
doubt.
Like, they're amazing crowds.
I can't wait. Like not my whole life, but like the last couple of years, people have been asking me to go, and I've just been wanting to try to make it happen.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go before the pandemic, or it was April 2020. I was supposed to go with Feeney.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's, shout out to them. I'm spilling tequila on myself. But we were supposed to go over and play with this guy Connor O'Rourke. He's like a Birmingham-based.
Oh, it
singer-songwriter
sounds
over there.
familiar actually.
He's great. And then obviously it was getting closer and closer, and then I was like, guys, this this coronavirus thing looks like it might be an issue. I'd hate for us to get like stuck over there or something. They're like, no, it'll be fine. And then like a week later, no, that's not.
That's probably for the best because you probably would have gotten stuck.
Well,
there.
I don't. At that
No,
point,
it wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have happened. We didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
was shut down before. I mean, like,
Oh,
I think
okay.
like stuff refunded and everything. Or?
I don't even know how much we had paid for yet at that point, to be honest. Which is like, how well would it have gone? If we were still playing it
Yeah.
that close. But no, I did actually. That's not true. I did have airfare refunded.
I was gonna
Oh,
say.
hell yeah. That's good. That's good.
That's a lie. We
I would
were
just
planning.
hop on planes and be like, no, this is paid for. Like you owe
This
me.
is paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like a hazmat suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Wiping my groceries down still. That's like did I mention that? That's the second time I've mentioned that.
Yeah, but no, it still rings true. Like
Yeah.
it evokes
It was
a
the
very
biggest
commonplace
thing we as like artists had to take on. I know everybody to take it on, but also like so many people were just like, oh, now I'm just like fully remote and like inhaling Netflix and on to like the next part of the
wipe
future.
your
But like
Android.
for us, who our whole shtick was like go out in front of strangers where strangers hang out, these little corners of the world, cafes, like open mic
Yeah.
nights, gross DIY shows, the Beat Locker basement, like
God
all
bless.
this shit.
That's
We
where
had to rip- and,
coronavirus
like,
started, by the way.
honestly,
That's
honestly, I know we're in a different era and there's different opportunities, but that all that shit's done. All that shit's dead. Like that real that initial vibe that was there. There's still like problems with you go to a show and people don't know how to act or anything like that in terms of like, do I move? Do I like people are way more exhausted. They want to get out of there quicker. Like it's just like
There's been a shift in
and like
philosophy.
like think of how many gigs you played before that where it's just like no, I'm used to this like regular thing that's just changed forever.
Well, I kind of find myself at a point being like, it wasn't until we couldn't do it that I realized how much I was maybe going through the motions at times, or like not took it for granted. And I was always grateful, you know,
Right.
but like really it was like, oh, this is not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And now I like really try to every time I have a chance to play, it's like it's
kiss
like,
the stage.
Yeah,
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 it's-
and get
it's so
COVID
happening,
again.
huh?
Yeah. Seriously, anytime. And that's even I was like, anytime I get to even just like rehearse or like, be around the band or even things like this, be on a podcast with friends. It's we're very lucky that we get to do any of it now, so it's cool.
That time sucked.
Yeah,
No
That
good.
sucked. I was thinking about it the
bueno.
other day. I was just like, I forgot how much it sucked. It's like you're allowed to say it sucked because it did. That was
did,
really
yeah.
like it robbed like us of like youth of like all this shit. I mean, the good
Yeah.
thing is like I think we're all in the mindset of moving past it and like moving to the next thing. But also like you made it through some shit.
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
especially as like somebody like writing songs and like again that was the world. You knew anything you ever did was like, what did Green Day do? What did the Beatles do? What did Bruce Springsteen do? Which was all before COVID. They were all like
Playing
totally
shows, yeah.
socially out of our world by the time COVID hit. They're all millionaires.
Yep.
Right,
Like
so they're-
nothing. Like them going back on tour. You're like, oh shit, Green Day's doing it. I think I can too. Totally different thing. Not everybody
Absolutely.
get back to normal.
Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah, no, absolutely. And like, it was just a very, very tough time. Absolutely for everybody. And I like personally, like, there was a couple weeks where like my dad was still like, my dad does like heating and air conditioning stuff, so he was still working, the whole time.
Yeah.
So like my house, we were technically like, exposed, or I had people going in and out.
Right.
So then I was like, by the time my now wife, then girlfriend, was like living with her sisters, like, our niece and nephews, so like, young kids. So we didn't see each other for like a couple weeks, where we're like, well, we can't. Like,
Can't risk
God
this.
forbid,
Yeah.
and there were still people going in and out of their house too. So it was like, it's like I wouldn't want to, be part of, anything like that. So that like almost like it was like almost a month. I forgot how long it was that we didn't like get together. We like socially distanced in the backyard and shit.
Right, but really
it's
like
not,
a sense of closeness.
We watched The Sopranos like remotely, which was like brutal, not fun.
Not as fun,
Yeah,
no.
not as fun. No, but like it helped get through it though, honestly. But yeah, it's such a shitty time.
It was weird because I think that was my first Sopranos run through was in COVID, like the heart.
I'm sure
of COVID.
for many people.
Oh yeah, but like
Sopranos is
when they were in Artie's restaurant in one of the episodes, and I had like a panic attack. I was like, "Holy shit, this show's so dated." They were
They're
in a
in
restaurant. No, I'm serious.
yeah,
At that point,
It's like I may
like,
never
heart
see a
of
restaurant
it,
again. Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't watch like concert videos
Yeah.
for a while at that point. Because I'm like, look at all those fucking germs in that pit there.
He's like, what are they doing?
You know, how could they do that? You know.
Yeah.
Or even like, cool, I'll never get to do that. That did happen
that
to me
too,
one day.
yeah.
I think it was like early 2021 before the vaccines. I did go on a binge of like Catfish and the Bottlemen, Bruce Springsteen, like all these like huge like arena like things. I was crying. I was just like,
This suck. They're like,
never.
Yeah.
Never.
But well, again, thank goodness.
Yeah. We're
No.
back.
Yeah. So, you know, and again, it's like, you know, things are different though, I feel.
Oh,
Like, I
yeah.
personally, like, my need for at least an hour to sit and watch YouTube mindlessly at the end of it, no matter how late we'll be tonight, you know, after
Same.
we, you know, go out and raise hell in Asbury Park after this, you know, whatever, you know, crawling in at 3 a.m.
Sure.
I'll need
an
to.
hour YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. You know, yeah, I need to. Like, I get home from I play ice hockey still.
Oh,
you know?
hell yeah.
Yeah. During COVID, when I couldn't do music, you could still play ice hockey. So I started playing
Yeah,
ice
of
hockey again
course.
with my dad. Yeah.
That's sick.
Makes no fucking
Makes
sense.
sense, yeah.
Yeah. But my dad, I played ice hockey growing up. And
Right.
I played travel and stuff like that. And then there was a time when I was like, well, I had to kind of. Started to get busier with music, so I had to I was missing. It
was on the back burner,
It was
yeah.
too busy, so I was like, okay, I didn't play in college or anything like that. But then during COVID, my dad was still playing, and like, you know, my dad plays on multiple teams.
Oh, hell
And it was,
yeah.
like,
He's
badass.
grinding. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. So I started playing with him again.
Yeah.
You know, we're in like a D league, you know, adult league kind of thing.
Sure.
But it's fun, and I still do it a couple times a week. And now that things are back, I miss, you know, like occasionally I'll miss a game for like a rehearsal
Right.
or whatever I got going on, or a show.
Got to prioritize, yeah.
Yeah, he only gives me like a ton of shit, so it's fine. He's like, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
I know your priorities are.
Rock star.
But you know, gigs and that stuff he's usually fine with. But it's like if there's anything else.
He's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, the team needs you. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, okay, you know, they're great. That's a lot of fun
Hanging
too.
out with your girlfriend, wife.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right.
wife,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
You're hanging
yeah.
out with your girlfriend. I heard that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same thing. But yeah, but even after that, I'll be exhausted. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, need to sit and watch YouTube for an hour. Need
Dude,
my defunct land.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes. My girlfriend's huge on like roller coasters right now. Watches like all
Yeah.
the defunct
the POVs.
Yeah. Well, no, Defunctland's like like basically mini documentaries about like different
yeah,
aspects
right.
History
of,
and
of
stuff,
parks
yeah.
and such. But yeah, I actually like, even though I was always kind of like pretty big into YouTube, that was like one thing when Guy and I were living together. Like YouTube was always on. But like, yeah, COVID like kind of was like, oh, I need to watch X amount of YouTube,
Yeah.
and that's kind of bled into my daily life. Now I'll get home, YouTube gets thrown on.
You see, I was not previously. I was not really a YouTube person, but then like how much Rick Beato did I watch during that time? Or again, I am a big theme park Disney nerd,
Yeah.
which I don't. You know, my punk rock friends I don't talk about as much, and I have my qualms with Mr. Iger.
Hey, yeah,
but
there's nothing wrong,
whatever.
yeah.
But Bobby Mahoney calls out Bob Iger and Taylor Swift at breakthrough
Wow,
interview.
dude, we've got the PR machine on this.
But I do love all that stuff, so I can sit on and just like watch.
Splash Mountain open. I think I saw a ride.
So it
ad
is
for
open, and you know
It's
so
now
Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
yes.
That was quick.
I'm going
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Are you
Nice.
serious?
For 3 days.
Let's go.
Yeah, and then I'm flying back to play the Kill Shed in Townsend.
Oh, I saw.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Wow.
The gig is listed, which I think
Have
is sick.
fun in
The integration.
1,000 Degree Disney.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn alive, but we'll have fun on the Flume ride. I'll report back on that.
Please do.
Oh
I'm
my
actually
God.
very excited about that.
Are they doing a Genie Plus for it? Like
I think.
Like
so
virtual
fucking
queue for
nerdy
that
that I can answer this. I think it's virtual queue, and I think it's gonna be part of the Genie Plus, but not the individual Lightning Lane. And you hear so they're not the individual pay for one at that park.
right,
That's
just
still
the lottery one, like Ratatouille was.
Yeah, it's that's the main option, the free option. The other one is you can pay for the whole day. Yeah, I know it's bad.
No.
You can pay for the whole day, like the multi-ride one, and then you can get on it that way. Whereas Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is the individual one for that park. See, I watch a lot of YouTube.
No,
And,
that's, yeah, I like that.
I had trouble
did-
getting on Seven Dwarfs though. I felt like that was easy.
Well, that one, people usually rope drop. That's terminology.
Oh yeah, you get there right
Oh,
for
yeah,
rope
we
drop,
had
of
rope
course.
drop.
I did that at Hershey the last time I went. Where I was there for rope drop. Yeah,
because you stayed there. Yeah.
yeah.
See, I'd rather get places early and beat a line if I can. Even if I'm waiting then for 2 hours in total to get in and all that.
It makes a
before-
difference.
I'd rather not wait if I can help it. And growing up there, I went there a lot with my family, so I have a lot of nostalgia for it. And we were big planners, so it was like,
Did you ride the Tron one too?
Yeah, Tron's
How was
cool.
that?
It's a little short, but I dig. That's what they say about me too. But I like it though. I like Tron. It's a good ride, and like Magic Kingdom needed it. I think, but that I wish it was easier to ride because it's either the virtual queue or that's the other pay for one.
Do you know the People Mover?
I love
that's
the
a
people
classic.
Jackie calls it the People Pusher.
That's
great.
Way funny.
I was like, come on, like we got nothing left to do. You want to ride that? And she's like, I'm not riding the People Pusher. Like,
See, I like the People Mover. I'm a stan. You're not allowed to bring snacks
I like the
on
Carousel of Progress.
That's
all right,
cool.
That's
I'm
a class.
real
That's
stan.
a forever classic.
I'm an old stan. Nobody likes that but me.
it. See, I can't even know if I like it, but I do like the historical significance of it.
exactly.
The fact it all still works.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, again, like,
wild.
that stuff I eat that up with a spoon.
Yeah.
But and I have to go on Peter Pan. That's like my one
It's-
thing.
yeah.
No, okay,
I need to go on Peter Pan. That's like
I'm glad Jackie's not here. She'll kill you.
Why she
We
hated it?
waited and we were literally both falling asleep in line for Peter Pan.
Yeah.
And it was such a letdown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, okay. It's a classic for a reason, though.
I think it's
no.
I think it's
I'm done.
fine, but I have to like
no.
You have to
I
recognize.
have to agree with her just because we were in that experience
not like-
together. Compared to everything else,
This is the bombshell. This is it. This is.
I would say it's not the best ride in the world, but it's
No.
like it has significance because it's a classic.
So, I agree, and I recognize, like, for me, if I hadn't had 27 or 8 years of nostalgia for it,
Yeah, exactly.
I would probably agree with you. But because that's the ride I think about riding in 1998 with my parents
Right.
or with my sister in 2000 or whatever, like, yeah, like for me,
I'll
I love
see
that.
that,
nostalgia.
and I'll raise you. What's it called? All the children dancing. What was it?
Oh, it's a Small World.
It's a
See,
Small
my-
World.
Small World rules.
Small World does roll.
see-
Small World
See,
rules.
Small World, I appreciate because the Sherman Brothers wrote the song.
Yeah.
So the music
I
side
was
of it,
not aware of that.
yeah. And the story with that is originally I wanted it to be like all the different national anthems. Of all the different countries.
Oh.
But when they tried to do it, it was just noise.
It was
and
a mess,
terrible.
yeah.
So they're like, Walt apparently was like, boys, write a song that
One-
like works,
yeah.
and then we can do it in different languages. So that's why it's like considered like such like a good terrible song because it's such an earworm. My grandmother, my nana, liked that ride a lot, so I do like that ride.
Yeah.
That said, I feel like it's also kind of the same thing where it's like if I didn't feel that way about it, or I'd be like, this blows,
Yeah. it's-
Jackie had she never went to Disney until I took her in her late 20s. And I literally was like, we got to do Small World. And she's like, what the hell is this? Loved every second.
feel
She
like that's-
literally filmed every second of it because she's like, look at all of them.
Okay.
Though,
I
to
get
your
it.
point,
Look at all the
I feel
little
like that's
feet.
just knowing Jackie, like that's super up her alley to begin with. Like little small children dancing, and it's like a little song. Like, dude, that's
is
Dude,
Jackie.
but I'm riding this ride, which I think I rode like in high school, and I was like, yeah, whatever. We'll go on it as a joke. I'm just like, Small World's so good.
No, I do like. I can't even front. I do like it, but like that said, like Peter Pan to me, like at least like one that's a day one Disneyland attraction.
Yes.
I haven't been to the original Disneyland. I've been to
Me neither.
I
Florida.
have, but
Yeah.
in 2000.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so it's been a minute.
Yeah.
but it's part. Yeah, it's part of that.
So I've been to Florida, but I've been to Paris. I went to Disneyland
Oh,
Paris,
yeah,
and that was
that's
really
tight.
cool. That was nice. But in terms of like Peter Pan, I do like. I like that you kind of fly over everything. It's a little
Yeah.
bit different from like the regular like ride car dark ride thing. That said, it's a little outdated. But apparently they built a new one in Japan.
That's
like
sick.
it's like a simulator
Yeah,
thing.
AI
and like,
Peter Pan.
I'd ride the hell out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, Peter Pan.
I'll give you another hot take.
Okay.
They ruined Test Track.
Well, they literally gutted it and closed it again now.
Oh, it's gone now.
So now they're
But
building
did
it again.
Did you ride the most recent Test Track?
It's not as good as the
What
original.
the hell was
Yeah.
that thing?
I
I don't like it.
I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
not
go.
good.
I've never ridden it.
Oh, okay.
Wrote. Yeah.
First one was like it was like crash test dummies was the theme.
Yeah.
So you see them test out the cars. It's like the cars gotta go through extreme heat and extreme cold, and then like we're gonna ride it. What was it, like 70 miles an
Yeah.
hour around this course, and then like crash at the end.
Oh my
and it was
God.
fun. It was like gimmicky, and you go in the hot room and the cold room and everything, and then you
Yeah, it was
like,
kitschy. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
corny. Yeah.
The new one, it's like fully customize your Cybertruck and then like drive it through these like laser fields or whatever. But it was so lame.
Yeah, I think they're doing it now. I think to kind of not bring back the crash test dummies, but to make it more like there was an original Epcot ride called I think it was World of Motion. And I think they're trying to bring back elements of like the older Epcot vibes with it to kind of combine it. I think so. We'll see. I don't know. My biggest issue, that's a long list, I suppose. But an issue I have currently, it's nerdy, is that I don't like where they put the Hatbox Ghost animatronic in the Haunted Mansion.
Wow,
That's very
you guys
That's
are
very
all
niche.
well over my head.
Haunted Mansion.
Trying to think of another.
I have only been a
Disney
handful of
take.
times. The most recent was in 2012, and prior to that, my family never really like did it right. Like I don't even remember what rides I've been on and what haven't.
Yeah, too small.
It's funny though. Like
You're like a normal person. That's fine.
I guess
It's cool.
It's funny though because like when you guys were talking about it in depth, I wasn't laughing because you guys were nerding out about it. I was laughing because I had just seen for the first time everything, everywhere all at once. And when you said Ratatouille, all I could think of was Ratatouille.
Oh, Ratatouille.
And like I can't hear Ratatouille again because she just keeps referring to it as Ratatouille, which is obviously wrong.
The Ratatouille ride could be the cure for world peace.
It's okay.
That's a great
So
movie.
Cool. Oh, come
It's
on.
okay. I wrote it first when I in Paris, the first one.
Yeah,
the original of it. And like those rides, I kind of get motion sick now that I'm older than I used to. So I don't love this like the big screens as much. And I feel the same way like Universal or whatever, and like the Harry Potter or whatever.
yeah.
But
Right.
like as a concept, I do dig it though, and I like it. I like Ratatouille. Nothing against him or Patton Oswalt. You know.
It's great. It might be the best
Is it Patton
Pixar
Oswalt?
movie.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Does it? Ratatouille rules.
That's a freaking great movie. I love that
I'm
movie.
trying to think of
Yeah.
another hot Disney take. I never got to go on the crazy Avatar.
Flight of Passage or
Yeah, I
whatever.
never got to do Flight of Passage.
My
Soaring
ex was
on
like,
steroids.
dude, that would like bring her to tears. That ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's-
was like, all right.
It's one my mom likes a lot.
And it's,
And
I've heard it's really good. But
It's
I was
cool.
like, she was getting emotional about it.
I could see how some people could be like, "This is what heaven looks like."
I
Yeah.
have a great Flight of Passage story. My coworker, he's like in his early 50s. He went with his family, and he never really got to do stuff like this when he was growing up because he grew up in Ecuador.
Yeah.
So he took his like 11-year-old son to Disney World. Like they went on a family trip, and they got secured for Flight of Passage, and they made it through all. They were on like a 2-hour line even with the reservation.
Oh, yeah.
Made it
It's
through
long as
all the
hell.
things, and then they're about to get on the bikes, and they make that like announcement like, again, like this is your last warning. If
Yeah.
anybody thinks this might be too much for them, now's the time to turn back. And his 11-year-old son was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this, and flat out like was just like no fit or anything, just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go out.
Yeah.
And he was just like, wait, where are you going? And he got to like look at the bike, and he was like, well, I gotta go do whatever my
brutal.
son's doing. And I was just like, bro, that kid would be sleeping outside.
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
That kid
Yeah.
would be
It's like, you're waiting here. I'm
never
going on the
allowed
ride.
in the house again.
I'm going on the ride.
So like, I love my niece and nephew, and that's who I'm going with. And
Oh,
that's like
hell yeah.
part of how I can justify going as much as I go.
It's like, at least I'm going with kids.
They're my excuse.
The
Yeah.
guards like looking at you, stamping you in, like you again. You're like, no, I got kids this
Yeah,
time.
they're mine. I'm with these guys.
I'm with these guys.
But they'll half the time they just want to go in the fucking pool.
Oh,
I'm like, do you have a pool in your backyard?
like let's
I'm
go do
like-
other stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like there'll be
Yeah.
like at a hotel or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
and they're like, we'll be at Magic Kingdom. I'm like, can we go in the pool? I'm like, Mickey Mouse is right fucking there.
Yeah.
And you want to go in the
There's a
pool?
pool there.
That's why kids
You
the
just
kids are
gotta go to
simple.
Epcot
You know, they could
Ball.
put do a Disney theme in the backyard and be like,
So-
there you are.
The best thing I've ever heard. My best friends, Chris and Tom Wojciech in Milltown, New Jersey. Shout out to the Wojciechs.
I'm from Middletown. That's crazy.
Milltown.
address?
Sorry.
Oh, Milltown.
Sorry,
Oh,
Milltown.
I
Address.
apologize.
No,
I'm not
All
gonna
right,
dox
so-
them on
home
this
address.
podcast.
specific with everybody's town
With
name
them,
and
I
stuff.
literally with them, I could probably actually tell you their actual address, but I'm not gonna do that. But
Yeah.
they, that's funny. They would take their Chris and Tom when they were kids.
Yeah.
Their parents, Mike and I, would take them to the Woodbridge Mall,
Yeah.
bring them to the Disney store,
And that's
put them on the carousel.
Yep.
And tell them they went to
That's
Disney World.
hilarious. That is good.
And like my parents were like, think of the fucking money we would have saved.
Yeah,
had
you
we
should've
just
done that.
And
Yeah.
even now, I'm like, I'm ruined
Yeah.
because of that. Now you could have just done that. It would have been so much
Nah,
easier.
it's fine. I've been converting people.
You have been
into
converting
Disney's.
people.
We'll talk.
I hung
But
out with
later-
actual Disney adults too, and they rule.
Yeah.
They get belligerent, day drunk. And
It depends. There's
It
a
was
threshold,
so
I
sick.
think.
We went to like Woody's Roundup.
Yeah.
And I literally couldn't
I like that
eat
we could
because
know
we were
this.
so
On the same page
we were
as
so hammered.
See, I get too hot for me to get hammered. I can't do it. The heat.
Yeah, because you go in July.
Well, I go all year.
He goes every. He's
Fine.
This guy's for real.
Yeah. No, this year we sprung for the annual passes this year. I had
You
them.
did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly, it is worth it if you're like,
If you're going multiple times.
and you go Spirit every time.
Pretty much, yeah.
You should get the sponsor.
Spirit sponsorship
band, yeah.
for Bobby Mahoney. That'd be sick.
Spirit, please sponsor us, please, for the love of God. That would be great.
I will
You're
say,
not doing anything else nice or right.
a lot of people
Yeah.
complain. I think their service has just been fine for me.
It's been great.
It's been great.
Yeah, it gets me where I need to be. I don't mind flapping.
Every
helping out.
airline.
Hey, you know what? That's a good. That should be a slogan for their brand.
Every
It gets me
airline
where
has shit
I
the
need to
bed
be.
for me in the last
Money.
4 years.
Yeah.
So I can't have. I can't lean towards any one of them. They're all horrible.
Oh, they're yeah. No, I mean,
There is no
I've
good.
been done especially dirty by all of them. It's just
well, I feel it's such luck of the draw because
Yeah.
it's the whole industry is terrible.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The whole thing, and like to me, why it's not like equal to just getting on a train.
Yeah.
In 2024.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. But there's money, there's fuel, there's politics.
I'll hit
exactly.
you with some logic.
Oh, God.
Why don't they load the plane back to front?
Money.
You mean like the loading?
Like why are
Money.
groups and where people are
money.
all over the place?
There's money.
No,
No, but
yeah,
like
it's money.
I do the cheapest option possible. I'll speak for myself, and
Yeah.
I'll be like group 4, group 5,
Oh.
and I'll still be like closer to the front than other people.
I see what
There'll
you're
still
saying.
be people getting on.
Well, I guess
after
if you're paying for the worst seats, the furthest back, that should be group 1, and they get loaded in the back.
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
But I think it's something about people want to be on the plane
It's
first.
exclusivity. Yeah.
The first people get to be on the plane, that's priority boarding. That's the military. That's
I'm paying
I
for
want to
this.
be.
Yeah.
even if you're the
I know somebody.
even if you're the very back of the plane.
Well, at that point, you're probably not. But even if you were,
That's
yeah.
insane, though.
I would
like,
think
I
so.
understand accommodations, but like,
Come on.
the last time I was on a plane, I was like, why?
Whereas me
'Cause it
personally,
loads off one way.
I'd rather kind of be on the plane as little as possible.
yes.
So like part of me is like, well, I'll wait. Let me on. I'll group 6. You can be moving, and I'll
Yeah.
I'll catch up. You know.
yeah,
You know?
I'm with that.
I don't want to be on the plane any longer than I have
When
to
they
be.
start, if I'm doing something like very busy, like laptop open, like wired into something with headphones, eating, and they're like group 1, I'll still just be like, nothing changed in my life. Like I still have an hour.
He's
here.
wired in.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Locked in. Yeah.
Are you? There you go.
No, don't.
Bobby, you're a big movie.
Oh,
big
don't
film
say
buff,
it.
right?
Don't say
Well, I
it.
wouldn't say that, but I do
Oh
like
yeah,
movies.
we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Never mind. I'll spare you. You're
Okay.
good.
Guy's upset because I recently rewatched The Social Network, and I accidentally rated it 4 stars instead of 5, and he called me out for it.
I don't think I've first watched that.
It's phenomenal.
So, okay.
It's very good. It is worth 5 stars, but I must have something must have
Finger slipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm me, so even though a normal person would be like after the first time he's just like, oh, I did it. Oh, did I put a 4? Oh, I meant to put a 5. A normal person would be like, yeah, maybe you meant to, but I was just like,
Oh yeah. And then he's like, so what part didn't you like that much?
I was like,
what
what
are you
was
talking
what was
about?
the issue? Why
What's
was
a
it-
5 out of 5 for you then? If that's not,
Ex Machina.
that's a good one too.
But we've been on a big movie nerd bit.
I
There's
love
some-
movies. There's certain movies that I could recite. Like
Sure.
I just like about I know everything about that movie. But then like other things, it's like I haven't seen this classic movie that everyone has seen.
I
and
get that,
I'm
actually.
like, an asshole because I don't know it. And
That's
whatever.
valid though. There's a lot of classics that I haven't seen, and we get to them at some point,
Yeah.
But
I do like movies. I like going to a theater. I feel like now I have a hard time staying awake in general. Even at home,
yeah.
like say I will put on a movie and like I'm just so tired all the time, and just when I actually have time. Same thing when I like, read a book,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh,
It's like,
I
if
get
I'm-
that.
I did that last night. The new Game of Thrones was a snoozer.
for House of the Dragon,
Yeah.
don't tell me.
They do. I think they're doing like odd episodes, sleep during, and then even episodes something happens because
Yeah, I
they've been on that pattern so far.
Interesting.
It's funny you say that about falling asleep. I'm good now, but there was a time, like I want to say like 2016 to 2018.
You were working late.
I guess it was I don't mean because I was working late, but anytime I would go to the theater to see a movie, without fail, I would pass out.
You were working late then, though.
I'm working late. I was.
Yeah, you're in a comfy
Which throws
chair.
You totally off.
Yeah, it does.
Nicole Kidman is telling you to go.
So nice in there.
Well, it was before she said, "This is where we go." Like,
oh, okay, you're right. Okay, I forgot when that.
because that was because of
She
COVID.
whispers you to
they
sleep,
needed to tell us because of COVID.
Right.
It's for a full
That magical
circle.
place.
You're right. Yeah. So like, I
Yeah,
get it.
so I
Like,
get
it's-
it. I completely
You're in a
get
dark room. You're comfy. You know, me when I have too many snacks or when I eat, then I get sleepy.
That's
so
it.
If it's popcorn.
Yeah,
or
there's
whatever.
another thing too.
Yeah. It's puts me right
an
out.
anonymous friend made a point the other day. Oh yeah, we actually never finished the popcorn in the movie. Has that ever happened to you?
Who says that? Actually, I don't need to know. It's fine.
I'm not gonna.
Have I finished the popcorn? I finished the popcorn, I think, or
I finished like 90% of it.
not all. It depends how many people I'm with. How many people are sharing the popcorn? What size?
I've
popcorn.
never had popcorn in the thing.
Oh, I
after
don't know
the
about that.
30-minute
ever.
Mark.
Oh, see,
It doesn't last.
I like to be like withholding, and I'd be like, I can't. I'm not gonna open my candy till after the preview.
No, we're talking about popcorn.
But no, it does make a
no,
difference.
popcorn. If I get, especially if I get the large popcorn, no, I have that's in abundance. I could eat that shit the whole time. That's fine. That's allowed. That snack I can have the whole time.
I've never heard of.
See,
people
I
being
think
like, yeah,
there-
we barely get halfway through. the
Oh,
popcorn.
that's crazy.
How
That's
do you not
crazy.
eat
And my other
handful of it.
my other problem is I will get the Normo soda, and I have a peanut bladder.
Oh,
so I have to
bad.
pee all the time.
Bad.
So like I'll like halfway through the movie, I'm like,
Congratulations for making it through this. We just hit the 5-hour mark.
oh fuck yeah,
Fuck
killing
yeah.
it. Well, that's what's nice about having John Chang Soon in the band is that
Bladder?
on road trips one of us has to pee.
Dude,
I
that's
can usually
beautiful.
wait him out.
Yeah, use him as a sort of scapegoat. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
guys, John has to pee.
This
I'm
fucking
good.
guy has to pee. Yeah, I guess I'll go. But,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
You know what it is too? I don't think it has a correlation to smoking. It might, but like I think smokers also have to. Neither of you are smokers, but I'm just saying like now that I
Yeah.
think about it, like whenever you're with a group of people in the van, normally the smoker is the first one to be like,
Yeah, I gotta
"Hey,
go."
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's and that's like, because they gotta hit the vape or whatever. You
No,
can do
but
it.
I also think it has like to do with like because you're constantly stimulating, so that
You mean that it actually has to pee?
your bladder's stimulated too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some stuff. I'm gonna have to do some research.
Yeah, I drink too much coffee. That's my.
That's
I love coffee.
Yeah, I
Me
love
too.
coffee.
I mean, like
That's my job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I work
He's
for
coffee.
a coffee roaster.
You're Mr. Coffee.
I'm Mr. Pizza, meet Mr. Coffee.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I still can't
Cage
get over
match.
that guy.
I don't know why what just came to mind is the Spaceballs line of what do we have on this thing? A Cuisinart? I don't know why that came to mind.
I'm gonna be honest.
But,
I've
yeah.
actually never seen Spaceballs.
We watched it together.
Did we?
Yeah, we watched it at South Lincoln. No, not South
like-
Lincoln. Larchwood.
At Larchwood?
Yeah, we
I
watched
must have been
Spaceballs.
zooted.
Yeah, we were zooted for that one.
No.
I definitely fell asleep during Spaceballs.
I know you don't
Yeah.
remember Spaceballs, but you don't remember that amazing friendship memory.
I do remember a lot of our
memories.
memories.
He drinks to forget.
I drink.
Oh, we forgot to do that. I wanted to open with The Office. Bobby Mahoney, no seventh son.
Oh yeah,
Jan Levinson,
That's-
no ghoul.
We meant to do that. Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah, we just gotta
getting
start
back
talking. My
to
bad.
the
yeah.
topic of that though.
We still got clap for the
we do have
intro.
to,
yeah.
No, that
We didn't
haven't
start yet.
We
We're
barely
just-
started.
It's just the intro.
Yeah. So
Lens caps on.
what is the story with that actually?
So, long story. Too long didn't read. It's too long for the posters.
I get that.
That's really the biggest thing. But at a certain point,
I thought you meant the story was.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, yeah, they can't put the whole story on the poster. Yeah, it's a lot. This whole monologue about why we changed the name.
It's
of the
cleaner.
posters. Well, it's cleaner. It's at a certain point it shows like people would ask James like who are you playing with? Bobby Mahoney and the Seventh Son.
Oh,
Who?
it sounds like two separate.
Bobby Mahoney and not even that, but just like
Oh.
it was just people just didn't get it.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't
like
clicking.
at a certain point we could name the band X and they'd be like why? You know,
They're gonna
different
fuck it up some way or another. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, and I've always kind of felt that like, it doesn't matter what we call the thing, but history lesson because this is can of worms.
I
a
like
little
that.
bit.
No, I'm glad.
So I started playing like solo acoustic and started playing like in Asbury in like 2010 or so. Kind of separately at the same time, I started a band called the Seventh Son.
Okay.
In high school with John Alba and this guy Drew Aggie, and we were like, it was like a high school battle of the bands kind of setup.
Cool.
We didn't really have much aspirations other than I could just play this battle of the bands.
Sick.
So we were Seventh Son, and then we did do like a pony show, and that was just we built a Seventh Son. And we then played shows like that for a while.
Is that in reference like the magical idea of like power being in the seventh son?
A little bit. It's we took it from an AC/DC lyric, Bad Boy Boogie.
Which that also may be in reference.
It is, yeah. So it's all like
kind of circular.
It's all like an old biblical reference,
Yeah.
or like whatever. And like there's a Johnny Rivers song, Seventh Son of. Everybody's talking about the seventh son. The whole wide world is only one, and I'm the one.
Yeah.
Like that stuff like that. But then I think of it as like the rock and roll spirit.
Yeah, for sure.
And like to me, that's the AC/DC lyric is on the seventh day I was the seventh son and we scared the hell out of everyone.
That's rock and roll, dude. That's
exactly.
They do a roll, by the way. Shout out AC/DC.
Yeah, thanks.
If you haven't checked them out yet,
yeah,
up and comers.
These great gents from Australia. You should really check them out. Really cool band. Powerage. People haven't listened to Powerage. Go listen to Powerage.
Yeah, listen to Powerage.
Yeah. Anyway, so Seventh Son was kind of a lot more hard rock, kind of influenced, and then I was playing in Asbury Park solo and kind of starting to play around here more frequently, and then people went off to college, and we kind of then at that point kind of then rebranded as Bobby Mahoney and the Seventh Son. James joined the band and all that because I felt at a certain point it was like if I was building a name for myself here, it kind of made sense just to kind of put all the eggs in one basket.
For sure.
I was writing the song, main parts of the songs, and I was a singer and the guitar player, and I'm an asshole, and all these things.
It just made sense.
It makes sense, and that's really the thing. And with now, it was like it doesn't really fit well on a poster. It's snappier to do it without it.
Yep.
James doesn't have to say as much at the show when people ask who he's playing with. It's just easier.
Yeah.
And I do at a certain point. Like, I'm not like. If people call us Bobby Mahoney and the Seventh Son, I'm not gonna be like, no, it's not the fucking
wrong.
band name. Yeah, how dare you?
Stop the show.
Yeah.
Nicest guy in Asbury calling people
Gone wrong.
Yeah, it's a fucking we're different band. Yeah,
we're not gonna play that shit anymore.
Yeah, here's our record with the same songs on it. But no, it's like, what?
No, don't worry about it.
We good?
Something fall out?
Yeah, screw fell out.
Oh no.
Oh, we'll find it. Should be okay for now. We'll find
get it in editing. It's fine. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
But so that's that was really the main, and we felt that at this point in time was the right time to do it because we were kind of just like generally rebranding.
It's the wicked cool thing to do.
Yeah. So this was the first release as just Bobby Mahoney. Cool. Yeah. I thought so. I wasn't sure if I was missing it.
We were kind of slowly soft launching it.
Yeah.
For like the last kind of year.
Right. Yeah. Playing to shows.
Slowly doing it. Just like and then now it's just a matter of like listing when it's acoustic or not.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But like. Even like Andrew plays a lot of the shows duo with me, or like do like some sort of trio thing or whatever, or it's all the same songs. And my whole thing now, or eventually, is like I'd love to just be like get someone else to be Bobby Mahoney, and I don't have to do it.
So
like an entity, like a Leonard Skinner kind of thing or whatever. It's like who's Bobby? I don't know. Some guy who was in the band 20 years ago before they got big.
Yeah, it's like it just shifts around until it's a kind of ship of Theseus thing going on.
Yeah, who's Bobby? Who's to say?
Yeah.
Mad Dog Mahoney.
Yeah, But the Andrew and James and John, and they'd have a sick band. The three of them, like there's like times they jamming on stuff because they know a lot of cover songs. Just the three.
Oh
of them.
Yeah.
And they'll like playing something in rehearsal. But guys, can we please play my shitty songs, please? Come on, we only got 2 hours here. Let's go. But like they do a mean Slither. Velvet Revolver.
That rocks actually. That's sick as hell.
I brought that riff back the other day when I was with a couple buddies, and they didn't know what that was. So it was kind of just dead. It was like I was like, "This is a meme," and then they were just like, "What are you playing?"
What is that?
It's so good. And then Andrew just like sings it and plays the whole thing, and I'll tune the drop D and I play it wrong along with them.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's funny.
That's a tricky riff. That's a tricky riff.
I mean, I'm just lazy too, but I
don't care to learn this. I'm just gonna play along somehow.
Yeah, like we did it.
I know it's 50% the song.
We did it at like a gig. We were like when we shot the Deadbeat video, we played like a set like after we did it because that's how Pete let us do it. Shout out to Pete at Low Dive. But we were able to then we just kind of fucked around. Like let's do Slither. And I just
why not?
Yeah, it's fun.
Song
but
rocks.
so I mean the band's great, and that's where it's like or like I want like the old like John Alba, and I go some of the older people who were in the band previously to do like with like Billy Joel's band. Billy Joel cover band. That's
But-
like
yeah.
the Saints of 57th Street or something like that. I forget what it's called. See, I'll remember that, but I won't
Yeah.
remember anyone else's name. But
I think you're right though. Is the 57th Street?
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
I think-
funny. It's like cool.
Yeah, so like I would love that where it's like the song. It's
Them
the
playing
songs.
the old songs, but it's like them.
The John Alba's Bobby Mahoney experience
Yeah.
or something like that would be fantastic.
It's like when every band like splits up after 50 years. Like there's 2 iterations. There's 2 iterations of the Beach Boys, 2 of King Crimson. It's like, or not King Crimson. Yes, one of those prog bands in the 70s. Like, which version am I seeing at Count Basie? Because it's not that guy.
No,
you know?
it's the other. It's the bass player's cousin.
Yeah.
You know, who found the rights to the.
Yeah, somehow he has the rights because he was an original member.
Yeah, I still don't get how
Yeah.
Brian Wilson lost the Beach Boys name.
Lots of drugs.
Drugs and bad lawyers and bad managers. And that's all fucked up, honestly. But, like, you know, that's, no.
But it's like that. It's like there's Bobby Mahoney and then there's
Andrew Saul's Bobby Mahoney.
experience.
That would be fantastic.
that would go hard.
I mean, no, that'd be fucking terrible. But
You would do it as a joke.
Not Andrew, but Andrew.
everybody in town would be like, "No, it's a real thing. We've been seeing it for years. Other people do it."
there's like a lore to it then.
We prefer how John's take on it. You know, that he's a little bit better than Bobby. I don't know.
And you're like the Brian Wilson. You're like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, you got the Monday night slot.
Yeah, I'm opening for myself.
Yeah.
It's like The
Dave
Rocker.
Matthews.
It's like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
with
The
Rainn
Rocker.
It's like that. I'm opening for
I forgot
myself.
that movie existed.
Oh, I remember back when before we were British, when we were American.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Right, yeah.
I rewatched that like 2-3 years ago. It still holds up. It's
Does
so
it?
Funny.
So funny.
Yeah.
That's cool. I haven't seen it in a while, but I dig that. But yeah, that always struck me
What's
funny.
his name? From
Rainn
Curb
Wilson?
is the dad.
Which one?
Jeff Garland.
Jeff Garland's the
the dad, man.
Oh,
He's
shit.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And like Will Arnett's in it too.
Will
right?
Arnett
Yeah, Will
is-
Arnett's the manager or the record label guy. Dude, he's so good.
That's
Yeah,
a
Rainn
good-
Wilson's very talented. What's he up to now?
Podcast, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Probably.
guess you get him. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we should get Rainn Wilson.
Him
You're
and
welcome.
TJ
You can use
Miller.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. We're gonna get Taylor Swift, Rainn Wilson, Rick Beato now.
On the same one. Yeah, we gotta get Rick and Taylor to be in the same
Listen,
room as each
Cage
other.
match during
Yeah.
the podcast.
She'd kill him.
He'd
Yeah.
be like, "This is a 1957 Gibson Les Paul Super, really great instrument. Show me what you could do on it, Taylor. Let's see a G chord." God.
That was
Leave
some
him
of Rick
alone.
Beato was also Owen Wilson. Wow.
That's the mix of the two.
He's got him in the biopic.
Yeah, I was gonna say Owen Wilson would play a good Rick Beato.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
the
the
best
people are
damn
saying.
Rick
That's what the
Beato
people
there
are saying.
was.
The reviews are in,
The Rick Beato biopic,
starring
Ro-
Bobby Mahoney.
Rochester, New York. Yeah, no, I like Rick a lot. And I definitely, I feel like I've learned a lot. Like Andrew and I will talk about. We'll be like in the studio. Andrew will be like, the since you've been gone panning, we need to do that.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I got you. And this is like Rick is just in like like meme like up in the clouds like.
Dude, that was literally us watching him break down Duality by Slipknot. I was
Yeah.
like, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Gets the boys real hype.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like I mean, and how excited he gets.
Yeah.
Like I like the Superstition one. Where
Oh yes,
yeah,
it's really good.
he a lot of great Rick like. Ooh, he just
Yeah.
he does that.
Oh, that.
That reaction
Rickisms,
is great.
yeah.
Was it the Kid Charlemagne, Steely Dan one?
Yes.
Where he's like, I think I remember how to play the solo.
And he's-
Yeah.
Note for note. Nowhere plays it note for note, but he's like obviously
like, yeah.
like redigging, like dusting it
Yeah.
off, and it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, fuck him. I mean,
Yeah.
in a good way.
in
But,
the
like,
most
yeah.
endearing way.
Yeah, that ridiculousness.
like-
That's how not exactly, but that's how I kind of feel like Andrew Saul is. He's an amazing guitar player.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I don't know, let me try this." And it's amazing.
He is
And I was like,
ferocious.
"Fuck you."
He's very good.
Yeah, fuck you in a bad way, Andrew. I don't mean it in a good way.
Oh.
That way. No. And calls out Andrew. So no,
Yeah,
I do love Andrew. I love Andrew. Andrew got our merch today. I appreciated it. It's
Oh,
like-
hell yeah.
Good for
That's
something.
very nice.
Yeah, and he plays the guitar. He sends a mean email. He's and not mean like aggressive, but mean
But like
like
a
he's just
real
an
Art
artist.
for
good.
that.
Yeah.
That's one of those talents. I'm definitely like, I'm almost done sending emails.
Yeah.
Like they're almost about to get real bad.
I'm quite good at it, but I have to go. It takes me about an hour to be like, Actually, I think I'm gonna change that word.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
I get
I'm
real
giving up
anxious
on
about it. So
because think about how long it takes somebody to like read it and digest
30
it.
seconds.
That's the thing. It's just like I'm not putting.
yeah, I
more than
toiled
30
for
seconds
45
in this.
minutes over this email to make
I'm
sure
gonna
it was
start
right.
leaving typos, like I'm like leaving bad takes on comments.
Sent for my iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, less is more. I've found, and just like people are not reading more than like a paragraph.
Yeah, you need straightforward.
Like all the like all the political stuff on social media, all the comments are like misspelled. Like the grammar.
Dude, that's
is,
when it's
like,
funny.
Left.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that in emails now.
Yeah. Just like carry that over.
Misspelling fascism constantly
Yeah.
as a bit. Yeah, like Andrew does a really good job of like, so like he does a lot of like the booking in terms of like the like out of state stuff.
Oh hell yeah.
So like, you know, he and I do, like, he does a lot of that and like the routing stuff, and like I like to say like I do domestic policy and he does foreign policy.
I like that. So did he get the European dates for you? Like, how did
no,
that work?
so that was mostly me, and that so that joke goes out the window at that point.
But I still get the concept
job,
still works.
Nick.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Should we? So we do have to wrap this up. We don't normally do like a closing to these because they kind of. But I mean, we're having too much fun. But I do want to close out with a couple of like normie interview questions. I think would be kind of fun.
Fine.
Don't answer these in length because I think the questions are fun. You just let me know if there's a good normie question.
No.
So where can we find your music?
Oh, the dumpster. No, we're not being self-depreciating anymore. No, we're not
it's
doing
out.
You're into
It's
the
out.
new
It's
era.
It's out. New Bobby Mahoney.
Bobby's era.
The biggest asshole in Asbury Park. On Spotify,
Prince.
Apple Music. Yeah.
Nick,
Sorry.
what's a good? You don't have to answer the question. What's a
Yeah.
good? What's a good normie interview question?
I thought you were gonna ask me what's the new normie streaming service. I was gonna say
How
Deezer.
long have you been playing music for?
Well, you know, some would say not. I'm still not. You know.
Still
no,
not?
but no, not self. Oh, darn it.
what's your
shoot.
Self-depreciating's out.
I
Yeah.
need more normie questions.
Oh man.
They drive me crazy.
Who's your biggest influence?
Yeah, everyone knows that already. Bruce.
It's Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce, it's
Hey,
not-
dude. Welcome to Asbury.
I know. Well, and that's a big part of it, going back to like I love Asbury Park. I'm
Oh, yeah.
so beyond, can't even put into words how thankful I am for the like opportunities I've gotten playing here, and like, you know, just being here, being part of the community,
Of
making
course.
friends, family. Like, it's great. You know. That said, I've seen a lot of people get stuck here. So
We've said it a lot. Guy and I talked about this at length. Like,
Yeah.
I am stuck here.
No, you're not
no.
though. You're not though. You're young. You're not though. But you're being self-aware of being like, you know, not being like. I don't mean people who like live here. That's not what I mean.
No, you got.
I mean like musically, like, you know, being
Yeah,
stuck
musically
here
in
and
Asbury.
like, you know.
any real like huge household name was a vagabond at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's it. Like
Yeah.
you have to physically spread your music.
Yeah, and that's, you know, and I luckily I like playing shows. I like playing house shows and stuff like that, and like going and meeting people. It's like a friend of mine said, "Yeah, I'm in the fan acquisition business."
Yeah.
I like
and
that.
that's where it's like, you know, I gotta write the great songs and all that. That's gotta be like the baseline. It's like, you know, but you have to go out and like meet people and connect with people. And like I like doing it one at a time. You know, it's like if you're someone who's gonna see us for the first time, like, you know, we're gonna
talk.
convert you. We're gonna talk.
Yeah.
We're gonna, you know, whatever. You know. Yeah, that's right. To Mahoneyism. Or whatever.
Mahoneyism.
No, we're not. No cult shit. We're not. No. I'm not. I don't have time for that. You know. What's the Creed line about you make more money as a leader, but we have more fun as a follower. Something like that.
That
I don't
goes
know.
hard. I think that's a good.
That's it.